All right. I think we are live. I've only done one of these prior, so maybe we'll get some people in. So you said you were doing buying Amazon to resell locally through eBay and Facebook Marketplace. So do you think that's going to be more of your trend?
No, I'm still going to do Amazon, RA, OA. I just hired I got to fill out the form, but No Network Prep, Side Hustle Pros, they do a prep center. So I'm gonna hire them to avoid sales tax. So it'll still be all the usual. This is just to get ready for Q4 using Keepa. I've been using Keepa warehouse deals and lightning deals and all that stuff and tracking. Keepa's been amazing. I've been tracking when stuff goes out of stock and the price goes up. I swoop in and and make extra money on products.
I mean,
Keepa. I took a online course from Chris Grant. Chris Grant, yeah, and he did an OA challenge course for 14 days, and he went over Keepa, and I think everybody's slipping on Keepa. So that's
very well possible because I mean everybody gets so complacent with what they're using. Oh, yeah, hey Harry, good to see you.
Harry, what's up? So yeah, there's just tons to do, like you said, and I have a friend that's not really a friend, but he wants to learn Amazon, so I'm trying to teach him Amazon and stuff like that. So lots of things going on this neck of the woods, but I do miss making videos. So I think it'll be more of an Amazon channel than it will be a dumpster diving channel. So
you could change it from dumpster, like you say, just the dumpster diver dad to Amazon. I don't know.
I know, right? But it's monetized. My channel's monetized. I've made a whole $17, I think, and haven't got a check yet, but it's sitting there waiting for me when I do. So
that's awesome.
I think it's amazing. How about you? What's going on with you?
I think honestly, the channel's actually showed some growth, like just being that consistency for the past month. I think we've gained in the last 30 days. It was like 40 something subscribers, and it's kind of a cool feeling when you start putting your time and effort. And I think that's what a lot of you see these younger channels, they forget that it is a grind, and you got to be consistent. And I'm enjoying it, and I'm doing it. I guess I'm doing it for the right reasons. I don't care. I mean, yes, everybody should want to get monetized. It's a great goal, but you got to enjoy doing it. You
have to enjoy doing it because you're basically doing it for free anyway. So even when you do get monetized, you're making very little money. So
like out of all the lives, though, like just the camaraderie, right? Like the community we do have. I do know there's pros and cons inside this community. I mean, I'm not I'm not going to be silent to say there's no issues. We all know there's issues in any community, but like when you see like Harry go live, he's like, I don't care. Let's just hang out and just BS and hang out. I'm like, I love that kind of style. So maybe what I'll do is like maybe I'll work with Harry too and just get people in like maybe like a once a month or just because we get so caught up in me trying to make a video. And I was like, the content that I wanted to release this week, I just didn't want to do because it didn't feel like it was enough. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to use a live this week. And I might just intertwine a live with a video in the week, like in case whatever. And it just gives people a way to connect with you. I think that's important.
That is important. Now, when do you have a regular upload schedule, or you just do it whenever you do it?
I'm trying to do it. I've got it down to weekly, like Monday, Tuesday, usually, and try to keep it to that beginning of the week. There's Try Flippers.
Yeah,
I sent you the link over in on Instagram if you want to hop in and hang out. You're more than welcome. Now we just it's fun to. Like seeing him, struck up a friendship. He's like, "Are you in Raleigh?" I'm like, "I'm not far from there." So one of these days we'll get him out. What was it? The last video uploaded, we had let's see, That Flipping Family come out and hang out with us, and we ended up doing stunts at the pool off the diving board. I mean, we let the kids have fun, and it was just an amazing time. So I think that's part of it. You got to have fun with your people. So.
Exactly. Now, how long have you been doing YouTube now? How long has it been?
I started the channel in December, but I didn't get serious about posting until about January, at the end of January. So kind of like putting in the effort, trying to make stuff, and it won't work. Right. But I think I missed like 2 weeks back in, 2 or 3 weeks from either not feeling well, right when we went to the restrictions and work from home. So there's Brian. Let me go ahead and add him here to the stream.
There you are.
There you are, man. Oh, let's see here.
No, Mike.
There we go.
There it is.
Man, thanks for coming out and hanging out, man.
Yeah, man. Thanks for the invite. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. No, it's just a time to hang out. I was trying not to step, like originally earlier I said I was going to just do like a random 8 o'clock, whatever. And I forgot Nurse Flipper had her channel thing at 8 o'clock. And usually I try to step in there and hang out, but I had so much going on today, like trying to prep to get this push for Q4 going. And then, our son started school this week, online virtual. So like it has been, let's say pulling teeth is easy.
Yeah, it's been pretty crazy today.
He is autistic, so we got to get him in that groove. Hey, I don't have to do anything but play video games. No, not no more. Let's see here.
What kind of prep stuff are you doing for Q4?
Right now, I'm organizing. I'm not going to be sending any of my toys in because I'm not ungated yet. I am working with Tommy Bernhard, and we're going to talk about, and I could even do this with you, man. Just ways to get ungated in certain areas for toys, but there's so many segments in toys. Like when you get ungated in toys, then you got, okay, well, am I ungated in this area? I don't want to spend money and buy like 10 of something and then can't list what I want to anyway and send it into Amazon.
So the key to ungating is like if you're going to do Funko Pops and Marvel, you do 2 invoices like that. So there's like 3 companies that you can use to get ungated.
Right, and that's what I'm doing.
EE Toys is what everybody knows, Entertainment or whatever. But there's a couple other ones that I think are a little bit better than those guys.
Right. So what I'm doing is I'm going through and seeing, okay, here's what I have that I would want to use and send in, and then figure out what does it fit under. And that's what it's going to take me a few more days to really understand. Because when we did that toy buyout, we bought another reseller out at a flea market just to get him to leave us, just like, what? We don't need your competition. Let's just buy you out. That was a day of you had to pray over that one. We spent like $4,000, but when we got done, we had like $16,000 in toys.
Wow.
And it was an entire booth. Like you go into these big booths, they give you like a small 8x10 or 8x20 slot. No, this was like a 12 or 14, and it was like, I want to say it was about 70 deep. Like it was a big flea market booth in Smithfield, and we bought them out. And I was like,
wow.
Just walk away. like, we got you. We just walk away. And that's honestly, that's to me, it's like fun when we use our tax returns to do stuff like that. Like the year before that, we did the Toys R Us buyout. Like
you were part of that. Okay.
We look at it as when we use our money, because we don't need that money anyway, we just try to invest it and try to see if it'll make us money throughout the year. That's pretty fun for me.
So are both of you on FBA, or do you use Amazon at all, or what's your involvement with them so far?
I do FBA and merchant fulfilled. I do both. So.
Oh, okay.
I'm in merchant fulfilled, but.
Yeah, I've done a little bit of sourcing from China. I've done a little bit of different things, but mainly FBA and merchant fulfilled. So I mainly deal in the grocery category. So I do toys and stuff like that. But I usually stick in the grocery. There's huge margins and discontinued items. I was sharing in our group earlier about Head & Shoulders discontinued item, and that price just keeps on going up and up and up and up.
That was ridiculous to me to see how much per bottle that's actually going.
Exactly, and you wouldn't know unless you know. So the discontinued items, I try to keep it tracked of. I do brick seek and stuff like that, but like I was telling Alton earlier, I've been using Keepa a lot to source deals and source products. Have Amazon send them to me, and then I'm selling them on other marketplaces or merchant fulfilled. So yeah, I got a spider jacket that for like $9 off Amazon, and new. It came to me new, so I'm gonna sell it back on Amazon for $130. So it's like those flips from one to another is just amazing to me. And I got these boots. Now I could sell these if this box was nice, Alton.
Yep.
I could have sold these back on Amazon for $130. But the box is all screwed up, so I had to sell them locally on Facebook Marketplace and sold them within a day. The lady's coming here about 20 minutes. So
wow,
there's so many ways to make money on Amazon, and I just try to carve out my little niche. I started with books, but and video games, of course.
Got you. I know. Wow, I have not seen him. Digital Diesel. That is.
I know, right?
My goodness, good to see you in here, man.
Get into crypto now, huh?
Into crypto. Like that's such a volatile market. Like
it is.
I mean,
it's like the stock market right now. It's the same thing.
Really is. I mean, I don't know. It would be kind of like dangerous if someone wants to jump into that not knowing and understanding the market. I feel like that would be the worst place to jump into. But like I know he actually has been dealing with it for a while, so like he actually it probably is more knowledgeable. So he can, hey, I can make this. Yeah. That's like.
I'm sure he's right though. I'm sure he's right. It's probably the perfect time to get into that right before the economy starts taking off again. If the economy takes off again, right?
Well, it technically is rebounding. I mean, if you look at all the. Okay. So how long do we think? How long is not going to be volatile? Well, what is not long for long? Let's.
It's been volatile since it came out. I think to some degree, right?
Yeah.
Making money, man. I'd love to have that as a topic. Like,
I would have liked to buy Tesla stock at like $200 or whatever it was a year and a half ago. What's it up to now today? $1,700.
Yeah.
So it's just craziness. How about you, Brian?
So I only do eBay so far. I've been reselling since about January, and so I source at like thrift stores and stuff, and then sell mainly on eBay and Poshmark and a little bit Mercari. But that's sort of where I'm at. When I initially started looking into reselling, I was looking into like doing books and doing the whole scanning process, and it just seemed like that process just seemed like a lot more work to me to get started. But it's definitely something we're interested in looking at. I just don't understand enough about how to do it efficiently, I feel like.
There's books are amazing. I think you could source textbooks and everything. I know my friends are still doing textbooks and all that stuff, but I think if I was going to go back into books, I'd just deal with Bibles.
Bibles are a really big seller, man.
I know. I sold another $100. I showed Alton a couple of weeks ago $100 Bible I sold a couple of weeks ago, and then I just sold another one. It was like almost $100. So I think I could. I would just do like the Thomas Chain Bibles. I just source them and resell them if I was going to do books again.
Wow.
But or do Amazon to Amazon flips. I know I have tactical arbitrage, but I know there's other programs that you can buy. But books are awesome. But there's one thing with books. They only have 3 big seasons: August, September, right after Christmas for January, and then spring. And those are the big times for books. So you'd make all your money during those three times.
So Brian, what is your so far in your 8 months now?
Yeah, that's just about.
What is your I guess you would say most memorable, or maybe your thing that you're most surprised of that when you bought it, the value of it, like something that you actually sold?
Yeah, so I think we have 2 things that were sort of surprising. One was like our really early sell. We picked up this leather jacket from a thrift store, and it was like, I don't know, 10, 15 bucks. And got it home and we cleaned it up and sold it for, 150 bucks or whatever. And so that was like, whoa, this actually can work.
Right.
And then we were at another thrift store and my wife saw this this depression glass, but at the time we didn't know what it was. It was just this random green glass, and they had 80 pieces of glass sitting on the shelf. And she overheard some women just kind of going on and on about this glass, how amazing it is, how someone should buy it. And she went ahead and I just sort of like turned away and didn't look. And she just put it on the shopping cart and bought it. And it was like 180 bucks of this random glass that we just kind of bought on a hunch.
That's awesome.
And so, yeah, it's been selling really, really well. And so that was sort of the time where I realized there's a lot more stuff that you can sell that you may not intrinsically look at it and go, that's valuable, but it does have value and people will pay for it. So.
Oh yeah, there's collectors and everything, and I think that's the fun part. Is back in February when I did that dumpster dive, because that got me into it. And that very first night of dumpster diving, when our daughter went with us, we found 297 resellable books.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was what got me started into the merchant fulfill side. I was like, this is, how you ask for signs in life of let me know when to switch. It's like, let me do this. And I just took the leap of faith, and I dug in for about that week or two. I think it was, Scott. I was scanning books, trying to be competitive. Yeah. I was also making mistakes, and I think that's because I had no money in the inventory. I found that I was breaking even on my first, 40, 50 books, but it was a learning curve because I realized I was judging the way the fees and then the shipping additive, like you have to re-push in the number for shipping. And I saw the credit, but I didn't realize that it didn't add my default value into the listing. So I was breaking even on books and didn't even realize it. But it was a learning curve. I learned something, and it didn't cost me but a little bit of time to do it. So now it's like, I think we had this discussion where it's on the rise. Now I'm getting a paycheck every week. Every time it pays out, it's like, oh, I'm getting paid now. It's like, I really don't do that much. Like, and it's crazy now. And now I'm starting to focus into profit margins. Like, the Cheetos.
Making a business of it.
Well, I mean, I've been reselling for 15 years. Like,
oh, wow.
Just doing it just to do it. But now it's to the point where it's come to the point where I've had the inspiration. Let me see if I get this right. That man right there.
I just pushed you in the right direction.
He did, and it really has helped me to the point where I'm like looking at things differently. Like, I was never one, unless it was like an extreme deal, to wipe a shelf. I would never just go here. So I gave the experience to our boy. He's a this year. Was it 2 days ago at Walmart? And there's this new thing, and our son was the first one to tell me. He says, "Hey, the new mac and cheese, the Cheetos. They had it in like the bold cheesy. They had it in the cheesy jalapeno, and they also had it in the flaming hot. And it was like this one thing on Instagram that he follows, and they have been right so far. And I've looked back at every single item that they have posted that was rare. It has been like 7 and 8 times the value of what it was retail because they didn't make enough of it. So I'm like, oh, we're following him from now on. Like, if I see that, I'm going to buy it and hold it.
Right.
It's funny how we paid 96 cents a box.
Right now, what was this?
Those Cheetos.
Oh yeah. No, you showed me up.
96 cents a box, and they're selling for $8.17 plus shipping.
Wow.
I'm like, even if you walk away with $5 after fees, you're still 5 times the money, and you start doing this 100 times because it's in the top 1% sales rank. It adds up fast, and it ships first class. Most of them will buy 2 boxes, and it still ships first class.
Wow, that's crazy.
And if you listen to singles, and you still get away with it. It's funny how it works.
Do you mainly sell on Amazon, or are you on eBay as well? Or You just go wherever the money is.
I stepped away from eBay. I started having to the point where I was trying to elevate that sales number. I was trying to get that $40 to $60 average sale. And when I made that jump, I noticed that I had a lot more issues with, like, I call it defect rate, or people saying, oh, something's not right, or you almost feel like you're being scammed, right? Like, and I couldn't handle my mindset with that. So I thought, well, give me a reason out. And I was selling more on Mercari. I was doing actually more sales at the time on Mercari. Hey, Jennifer, good to see you. And it was just, I don't know, it felt right. The people who I was surrounding myself around kept telling me out and move over to Amazon. My style fits Amazon so much better. Don't get me wrong. I love a good yard sale. You know what I mean? Like, I love going out and find that stuff. But at the same time, I've learned that it's a harder sell for me, especially where I'm at. And you being in the same area, it's hard to source in our area good quality merchandise that is, because I feel like the people in our area, they either keep it because they know what it is, or you have to wait. I hate to say it like this, but I'm gonna say it. They have to die first,
right? Yep.
And then you got to be the first one in the door to that estate sale to get what you want. Yeah, and it's unfortunate, like, I just didn't want to be that guy, like.
Oh yeah, I'm with you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely feel that though, because we've gone to thrift stores here, and you just look in there, you just like, you see all the videos of other people, and there's shoes everywhere, and it's awesome, and nice.
Made some money.
Yeah, $70. Yeah. One day. So yeah, nice. That's hey Jennifer.
Yeah, it's just, I think everyone and that's the beauty of this market with resale, is everyone has a different style, the way that they feel comfortable using their money, and have different limits and thresholds. Now, would I tell someone new that has never had any sales experience to start Amazon? Probably not. Not right out the gate. You know what I mean? You got to get that interaction with people. It builds your confidence, and you got to build that nest egg, right? You got to build that momentum to step in. And I was just in a good spot. Like I said, I had that little blessing of a find, and I was like, there's no dents, no dings, no nothing on these books. They literally took them right off of the tables and stuff from the bookstore and just dumped them in the trash. I was like, this is my go. And I got to find that moment, Oh, and by the way, I did the math on the 297 books. So far, it's like $3,600 in sales.
Wow.
In sales. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
for free.
And that was just one thing. Like, I found it finally sold 2 weeks ago, and I was going to do a what sold video, but I've honestly been getting burnt out on all the what sold videos, and I want to see a different side of it. So, like, how about we just say, hey, we did well this week, and hang out? You know what I mean? Like, that's what my thing is, right? So, and that's the reason why, like, y'all know I started hanging out with Buffalo Picker on Friday nights. And it's a good way that it's asking good questions. He has a good little thing there. I want to do something fun. I want to make it easy for someone to ask questions, like as easy it was for me to ask, Scott questions. Like, and I think that's important. If we're going to build a community, we need to have it. You don't necessarily have to tell me exactly what you're selling. I think you need to find your own path. You know what I mean? You need to find things that work in your market. But, like, I don't know. Like the gain, I'll share that one because it's already about done now. I've already made my money on it. And I think it's still there, but that Island Fresh gain dryer sheets that we were talking about.
Oh, the one that we're talking about?
Yeah. I ain't even going to tell you how many of them I've sold.
Oh, see, I gave that one to you for free too. That's awesome. How you going to source that? And you sold all those?
Yeah. So the very first day I bought 36, right?
Right.
2 days later, I had 6 left on my shelf.
Wow.
In 2 days, I sold 30. Now, I was buying them at $2 a piece.
Right.
They were selling at $12 for a 2-pack plus shipping. So I was walking away with, after fees, like, I want to say it was like $8 and like 40 something cents after the fees and everything. it was weird. It was like I was turning 4 into an easy double, and I had already done it, 15 times. And I'm like, okay, let me go do it again. Well, I called the manager and said, hey, I need more. What do you mean you need more? You bought more than you can need the rest of the year. I said, they're not for me. I said, they're for my customers. And, hey, mister, it's good to see you, man. That's one of the PlayStation boys there. He's like, what are you doing? I said, well, I'm helping you. I'm helping you clear your shelves. I'm buying from you, but I'm reselling them. And he goes, dude, how much are you getting for them? I said, you don't want to know. And they were supposed to discontinue that scent.
Right.
But they've kept making it. I don't know if it's because they already had it in production and they just a switch or whatever with the times we're living in, but they've held on to it. But it will get discontinued before the end of the year.
Yeah, that was a Keepa thing. I found that on Keepa. Shared that with you, and because I don't have any Family Dollars around. It was Family Dollar, right?
Oh, Dollar General now.
Dollar General, yeah.
Yeah,
I have Family Dollar.
I think it works on both because I think they're both within reason, so you can find it there too.
Yeah, because I don't have a Dollar General here that's way up on the other side of town. So I was like, here guys, have this.
He messaged us like 2:00 in the afternoon and says, "Hey, look, be on the lookout for these." It won't 3 minutes. My shoes were on and I was out the door. And I found them, and I literally just. When a grown man walks up to a checkout with nothing but dryer sheets in a cart, that is a moment. And I think 2 weeks. Let's see, that's been about a month now. It's been about a month, and it's like I want to say I got 7 left on the shelf over there. And I think it was a total like 147 bought total.
Wow!
So now, it's been a cool find. Like
you can send my commission check.
Your finder's fee, right?
I want my commission off that by a couple bucks off each box.
Yeah.
On your next live, I'll make sure I do a super chat for you.
There you go. That's good. I'm glad you won on that. That's awesome.
Absolutely. Like, and again, that's the things where, like, as a community, if you can share, like, if you know, like, hey, I have a circle of people who would benefit from this, it's like we're already on the downtrend of that one. Like, that's already come down, and it's like for whatever reason,
everybody's finding it.
Exactly. But I rode that train for the last 3-4 weeks, and it's already died down, and I'm like, oh, I'm glad I didn't go buy that other round. Like,
Well, ride that Head and Shoulders one. That's going to be the next one because the people use that and need that. So,
it's all about, and I never really thought about it till we were selling. And Amazon makes you look at things a little differently. I never realized how much the market is different. Like the California market, things you get in California are completely different than the things we get here in like North Carolina. So like there were certain things with I ain't gonna give that one away because I know you have a lot going on, but there's certain things, especially things we drink, that you can't get everywhere. And it's amazing what people will pay to get what they know. Like if they know something is not available, they'll pay to get it.
Right.
And, I saw some stuff on Instagram where people were buying like Mountain Dews or something off of a dollar store and reselling those, and that was sort of like my first experience with this whole thing you're talking about, where things are going out of style or they stop making them and buying it and flipping it and making good money off of it. So
it's basically like they're limited to edition. Like today, what was it? I forgot what we found today. It was another powdered drink. I forgot it was kind of like the Sunkist and the grape ones, like the little individuals, but I forgot the name of it. And it was supposed to be like kind of like a soda company. I forgot the name of it. I'll have to go look for that again tomorrow. And it said limited time only on the thing. And I'm like, oh, my mind, I'm gonna have to go back here in about a few weeks and see if they're quit making them. And then
have you seen the SpongeBob SquarePants Pop-Tarts? Have you seen those?
I have not.
Yes,
he started. I don't like SpongeBob, but I will sell him.
Yeah, exactly. The movie's coming out, so Pop-Tarts did the special edition with SpongeBob. So I don't know where it's going to go, but
that keep my eye on those. You never know. And I think that's the fun part is I like investing in things that worst case scenario, I can use it.
Yep.
And I think that's like dryer sheets. It's like I was like, hey, if I don't sell these, you're good.
Exactly. Yeah, I can't. I still get it.
You know.
Yeah, that's how we started first. When we were first buying some clothes from the thrift store, we said like, hey, if this never sells, like it's an extra large, I can just put it on. It'll be a little big, but we can deal with that.
Absolutely.
And yeah.
I think that's the smart way of handling it when you first get going is understanding your thresholds of what you're willing to do. And I think that's the biggest thing is you hear these people go, oh, you should be buying XYZ. There's a ton of stuff. If you watch my yard sale and like, I probably should have bought it, but it didn't meet my criteria of my risk threshold of how long I thought I'd have to hold it. You know? I mean, I might could have got $200 for it, but it'd be a year from now.
Right.
My $20 is more well spent. Something I could flip every few days and make 5 times that money. So, what about you, Scott? Any big hauls the rest of the week?
I just been doing the coffee and the stuff like that, but you guys saw on the PMs that said gluten-free flour, so I'm gonna go around hustling those for the next couple days and see how many I can pull in. Huh?
Was that crusty? What was the name of that?
Yeah, it's the Red Hill, I think it is the Red Hill.
Because we talked about one of those a few weeks ago that showed that was gluten free.
Yeah, that was another one. This is one that was out of stock. Using Keepa again, but yeah, it's the Red Mill.
I bet that's gonna sell good.
Yep, and they're changing the packaging. That's why this one is valuable, and people want that one on that one. But
like they're not changing the recipe, just the box itself is changing, and that's
the packaging. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So they're changing the packaging on all their stuff to make it look, more modern or whatever. And the older ones, people want the old ones right now. And Amazon just went out of stock, so I bumped up the price pretty good. Now I'm out, so I have to go around hustling to go find some more. So one guy bought 3 of them for $106 or whatever it was, $33. So $99, and then he paid $4 for extra standard shipping. So that's the racket on Amazon right there. Is the expedited shipping. That's the racket right there. They pay because like on Amazon they give you 2 days, and like they pay an extra $3-4, and it doesn't change anything on my shipping time. I try to get out sooner, but it's like free money.
What's funny to me is the other day, like, and again, for me, it's like I don't care. I know if my shipping handling time right, but I also know that like, hey, if I'm busy tomorrow, I'm gonna go ahead and get it out. It's not due till tomorrow or whatever. But I'll get it out today. Right. And the other day, this is funny to me. I had a game sale on a Monday, and he didn't even ask for any kind of expedited shipping. Tuesday, because he bought it Monday night late. I shipped it out Tuesday morning at like 9 a.m. I don't know if anyone is going to get it out any faster than that, like realistically, right? That afternoon, after it's already been scanned in the system, it's already in transit. It showed on the label in transit for the code, right?
Right.
Can you expedite ship this?
Oh yeah, I can do that.
Obviously, I'm not like it's already in transit to you. It's actually going to get there probably the same time. Yeah. There's no need for you to expedite it because I'm already 2 days ahead of what Amazon told me I had to ship it for you. And he goes, well, I need it by Friday. I said, it'll probably get there.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I find it funny sometimes when you get some of the oddest requests. I got more odd requests on eBay, though, than I did on Amazon. And I think it caused such a headache for me. And it made me fall out of love with working with eBay. Yeah. And then the defect rate, like I told you, as I tried to step between that $40 and $60 threshold per sale, I noticed that the defect rate, oh, well, it's not exactly what I wanted. I want to return it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, you opened it. It's like, well, I didn't know it wasn't going to be able to do this. Like, I had the funny one for me on Amazon the other day. Someone else bought a game, and he goes, "How long is it going to take for disc 1 to install?" I want to return it because it takes too long to install it.
All day.
Like, whatever, dude. Like, if you're that concerned over a game installing and it's obviously you, and it's a perfect game, it was a brand new game. Like, come on. Like, have you had anything like that, Brian?
No, not that at all. I don't get a lot of crazy customers. It just
you will. Q4 is coming up. You'll get a lot of Q4 is coming. So
one day you're gonna be like, Alton, I know the pain. Like,
right.
It's something that grinds that nerve just right. You're just like, you really took the time to ask me that. It's in the description. It's in the photos. Are you just lazy? Obviously not. You messaged me.
Right.
Yeah. But are you going to be doing any Mercari, Brian? Did you say you do Mercari or no?
Just a little bit of Mercari, but not much. Mainly is eBay is where I've been selling, and I've just been sort of staying there. Gotcha. Done a little bit of Poshmark, but that's just to like try to get some of the clothes that we have stocked up to move, and that's kind of it.
I think I'm going to try to see the listing limit for Mercari in the next week. Let's see how far I can push Mercari. Wow. I'm gonna. I don't know.
I don't understand. I guess I'm listing the wrong things or whatever, but Mercari has not been as good as me as it has to you. So
I think for me, what I've been looking for is kind of like, when we look on eBay solds, how like you have to judge like, oh, well, one sold on the 15th, the 13th, the 5th, the 1st. Well, that's only 4 sales in a month, but yet there's 300 of that item. That's a low sell-through rate. And you kind of have to do almost the same thing inside Mercari. Search your item and then switch over to the sold and see what the average price is. And it'll give you within, I forgot how far back it goes, but if you see a bunch of them listed and show sold, it's okay to go ahead and hop in on it. But if it's just it's only like 3 sold.
The thing that I because I price my stuff high because I know I'm Mercari, I'm gonna have to discount to promote it and stuff like that. That's the problem I guess I have. I price it all high. I know I price high, but I know that I'm gonna come down eventually. So maybe that's probably part of the problem. I haven't had sell a couple months, but I have 100 and some odd listings on eBay, and I'm gonna get that up to 400 or 500 by Christmas time.
Wow.
Yeah. And Mercari, this will be my first holiday season on Mercari because we started selling Mercari back like end of April when I really started trying on Mercari. And I mean, I think I've already sold like $2,000 on Mercari. Like,
wow. When I was selling on Mercari, I was selling a lot of Harry Potter stuff, because I find it garage sales and stuff like that. So
yeah, and I think
seems to sell really good on there.
I think that's that medium of if you didn't want to be on eBay, but you didn't quite meet the criteria to be on Amazon.
Yeah,
that's right. On Mercari, I mean, and also, I can tell I've had 0 returns, not on wood here on Mercari. Like no,
I've never had return on Mercari either. Nothing.
I feel like when they look at the photos, they know they want it. They're more conscious buyers. Like, and I don't know if that's the truth or not, but just from the way the sales have gone, I feel like there's less returns than any other platform so far that I've had to deal with. So,
yeah, I don't know Mercari's return policy, but I know if like Poshmark, they get like 3 days once it shows it's delivered, and after that, they can't return it. And I know eBay is like 15, 30, whatever number of days.
Well, and I think what it is by the time you get your money, like let's say it delivers, you ship it out on Monday, it gets there like Thursday. Well, they have 3 business days or 3 days to rate you on Mercari. And that's that time for them to do their due diligence and say, hey, here's a problem. And if they rate you and go more than 3 days, even if they don't rate you, Mercari will auto rate after 3 days and give you your money. So that might be that threshold. I've never really dug into more of that, That might be something good to know if that's their threshold time of 3 days, because it would make a difference of how you list your product, and that might be where it is. If Scott was more, hey, I don't have to worry about returns as much, you might can take that percentage down because they're taking a flat 10%.
Yep.
So that 3% cut margin on a $100 item, you can knock it down a few more dollars and be competitive than having to list it on eBay and losing. How much are we losing on eBay now?
I don't know, with the switch over to managed payments. I haven't had that happen yet on my account. I know there are people that have, but I know the fees are supposed to go down a little bit. But yeah, they're just the thing that pisses me off about eBay is they want you to promote it and they want you to pay all the fees on the promotion, and you get to choose what you want to promote it. And they want you to do their amount, or they won't promote as much. So it's like a game.
Yeah. I definitely feel like everything with eBay is a fee. It's a fee to list. It's a fee to promote. It's a fee. It's a fee. It's a fee for a store. All this, all these fees all over the place.
The way I counted it, the way I used to do my thing, because the way I knew I used to promote is, let's say I had a $100 item and I knew I was going to get $75, $80 out of it. Well, I automatically knew I was only going to make 50 or 60 because 20 of that is in promotion fees for me to even try to sell it. And I was like, and it's like, is it really worth it at the end by the time you have an 18% defect rate? And don't get me wrong, I had like a 98.5. Like I was trying to get that 100% mark, but every time I would move up, somebody was like, "Oh, well, he didn't tell me this in the description." I was like, "That's not something you need to list. Like you list every detail about the item, Oh, well, it doesn't do this. Like I'm just listing a product. It's brand new in the box for you. I don't know what to tell you. Like,
and they want you to do free shipping, free returns, free this, free that.
I can't do that. Like when Amazon, they said something that had a return, and returns are inevitable, especially on Amazon.
Exactly.
And they were like, you need to do this. Well, the buyer messaged directly and says you will accept this, and I went, what? I even contacted Amazon and got support on the phone and says I'm being harassed by the customer, and I'm still within my SLA to respond to make sure I'm in accordance as the seller. I said, I'm being harassed here. But you know what they did? They canceled his request, and I still ended up with the item in the return mailbox.
Oh, so you got it and then canceled.
So I don't know if they gave him the money and they ate it. I don't know what they did, but I ended up with the item, and they never took it out of my stuff. So I don't know what happened there.
You know what happened to me a week and a half ago was a guy. He was definitely a drop shipper on eBay because I'm sure no packing slip, quote unquote. It's a gift, which is fine with me. I don't care. But he wanted a return on an item, and he started threatening me right off the beginning. It's like, yeah, I'm going to report you to Amazon. I'm going to do this if you don't accept the return. You don't have to threaten me, dude. It's it's okay. And I haven't heard one word from him since. He never. I never did process. He never did open a return because he did it under one of the other items. Item description or whatever thing he did it under instead of a return. So I never heard from him again. So I was like, yeah, you don't have to threaten me.
I think that's where I feel like buyers don't understand that you go a lot more longer way being nice to us and just say, hey, I apologize for the inconvenience. Actually, if someone just said, hey, I bought the wrong piece, would you please do a return? Absolutely.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because it promotes a good business relationship. But when someone comes at me like that, I'm just like, all right, after we're done here, you're blocked.
Right.
And I might have blocked too many people in my lifetime. I think I'm having sales I'm missing out on.
You don't need them, man. You don't need them in your life. You don't need them in your life.
You don't want those customers anyways.
Yeah. You don't need them. Just let them go.
So anything y'all looking forward to the rest of the week?
Let's see. Well, the kids just went back to school, all that stuff. So they're at home and all that stuff. So it's it's been pretty crazy, but we're gonna have a party.
All virtual, or are they
All virtual, yeah. I post on my Facebook that I don't agree with that. I think the kids should go back to school. And I made Brian a little upset. But it's like, it's I know you're a teacher. I know you're scared to go back to work, but that's your job, and you're essential. You should be an essential worker, and you should buck up, and the risk is very minimal with the kids. I'm like,
right. Well, and that's the thing. It's like they're not the ones at risk as far as like the major. From what I gather, like they're not going to be the ones who are going to end up being deathly sick to this.
Right.
Like, I mean,
his answer was, you see how the flu spreads through the school. Da 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 da. I'm like, well, they weren't wearing masks back then, so everybody's going to be wearing masks. So, but I don't even know if I want my kids to go back to school with, how stupid, no playground time, no this time, no that time. It's all gonna be changed anyway. So
yeah, it's gonna be a school year unlike any other, and it's not gonna be anything like we've ever seen, or even I don't even think it's gonna be enjoyable to some degree.
It's not, and it's gonna be miserable. But
they're gonna be.
I don't know why the teachers are hiding behind being scared to go back to school when we got police officers and all these other people that. Because the kids are our future, so it would be. The risk is real. I definitely, the risk is real, and everybody should be wearing masks, and everybody should be safe. I think the school would be one of the safer places.
I agree. It's funny. It's like we talk about it, and like I find it funny. Like everybody says, "Wear your mask." I said, "Okay." It's funny now because like in the video, even Peyton was wearing. He's like, "I have to rep the brand," and I'm like,
All right, there you go.
But you got to have fun with it. So like, if this is going to be a way of life, you might as well have fun with it, embrace it. I mean, no, I don't agree with everyone should be like. We want our kids to go back to school, because I mean, how do you go over it? You got to build up an immunity at some point, like.
Yeah.
I'd rather them build the immunity and me be sick for a week or two and let me get over it and get done with it. Now, you might not be able to go see the grandparents for a while, but but I don't know. That's a very touchy subject with people, and I feel like so many arguments have been made over it, for it and against it. It's just like ain't nothing we can do about it. I mean, it's here, it's real, it's whether you believe it.
Was just out of frustration, It's just
right,
and I got a lot of reaction on my post. So it's like, seeing those kids at the computer just frustrated me, and I was like, I know the protections and I know the teachers will be at risk and all that stuff, but they're not getting the same education as they would in the classroom. So.
Oh, definitely not, because like Sean today was done. He had his entire day done. He was done at 2:00.
Yeah,
and I'm like, when'd you start? I know he ate breakfast, relaxed. I mean, he did like 1 or 2 assignments before 9:00. And I think it was like 10:00. He took like an hour break or something. And then like, he did like another hour of work. And then he had like one major thing to finish up, and he did it like 2:00. And I'm like, so what are we doing tomorrow? I guarantee you tomorrow is going to be 2:00. He's going to be done with his schoolwork. And you know where he's going to want to go? He's going to go to the pool.
Oh yeah,
and that's the thing. Is like everybody goes, well, why? I got so many direct messages. I'm not even going to lie. People tell me I'm a fool for going to a public pool.
What?
Yeah, like because if you look on my Instagram, that's what a lot of the time is. It's my thing that I do is beyond the hustle. It's like taking that time with my family. So, there was one where people messaged me directly. It's like they didn't have enough balls to message me on the post. They messaged me directly and are like, you're going to catch COVID and everyone else around you. I'm like, no, because we already had it and we don't even know it's
right. There's a pool a mile from us. And we're there 3-4 times a week, so it's like I don't post it. I guess I would get all those comments too. So,
and I get some funny remarks, and I I saw one of the guys. I'm not going to call him out because he's been a good guy. I see him in a lot of other chats, and he's been following my channel for a little while. But he made a comment, and maybe I took it the wrong way, But I did the Krispy Kreme video. I mean, I don't know if y'all got a chance.
Yep.
Well, that comment, like, spread COVID and why not high fat cholesterol? And I went, well, maybe one day when I can afford to, I'll give away salads instead. And then there's gonna be a problem. Oh well, what about the people who like meat?
Yeah, you can't win.
And at the end of the day, it was about taking time out of your day to do something generous and kind to others. And and Brian knows we were in South Raleigh. That is not a place you want to go. And I mean, we went down to the shelters. We went down like in downtown. Like the boys went walking. And they were downtown in one of the parking garages. There was a homeless guy who didn't make it in time to a shelter. He got him a dozen donuts. But you know what that guy had the nerve to say? It did not make it on camera. He said, it's kind of rude to bring someone food and not a drink. I said, you know what? I can't make everyone happy. Like,
go ahead.
Man.
Next time, go to Dunkin' Donuts and bring him a coffee. So there you go.
Yeah, I should have. Okay, well now I got to go buy. If I buy 16 dozen donuts, I need to go buy 16 coffees.
Yeah,
creamers and sugars because you might want some creamers on it.
Exactly.
I don't know, man. Like the world we live in, I felt like. I mean, and no one thinks about it. I bought 8 dozen and got 8 dozen for free. That 8 dozens costing me $86. Just make the video and go have fun. But it was also a teaching time, like I had the older kids with me, and it's like, you know what? Let me show them a positive side of the resale business that if they inspire to do this, they can do this for themselves. It's a teaching moment. It's a feel-good moment, yes, because when you have the time to do something like that, I think anyone should take the time, and if you give to others or whatever. And they got a lot more out of it than probably the people who got the donuts.
Right.
And I mean, you got to influence your circle somehow. But the best part was the very first drop off when we handed them to the father and those kids that you could tell hadn't eaten that day. Dude, they ripped open. Like I thought the box itself exploded. Like the top, they were just head into the box, and I'm like,
wow,
that made the entire $80-something worth it just from the one set of kids, and they only got 1 dozen, and I was just like, now that's what it's about. So
that's something we've really talked about wanting to do, just to like go out in the community and just do something like that, just to like show my kids that my kids have everything they need and want, and to show them the things that we talk about a lot, that there are others who don't have and that want, and just to like take and be giving of themselves to other people, and to be giving to the community, and just to like show them what it all means,
Absolutely. And so anytime you want to do that, you let me know. I think we're like again, like we can do whatever. Like we're actually going, and I'm going to have to get Scott to make a trip one day to North Carolina, probably next summer, because I've got clearance. My pool, right? I got them to do something. We're going to have a Saturday where I rent the pool for the day, and we're going to have the community come together. But I want to have like any of the YouTube people who are resellers or whatever, they can come to our pool that day, and it's like a weekend event. You know, it's just going to be a great time. Like
that'd be awesome.
You know what I mean? It's like it's a great time of community, and it's just we don't have a lot of that here. Like I explained that in the video, and it's like you get like Brian here who messes me out of the whim. I'm like, he goes, hey man, like, it's like, and I was like, that was awesome. He goes, are you near Raleigh? Like, yeah. Like, he goes, I thought so. Like, because I guess I was somewhere that he recognized. And then
you said something that made me think. I don't know what it was, but you said something about the Raleigh area or something, Johnston, or I don't know, something. And I was just like, oh man, he's got to be local.
And then Ryan, that's kind of funny because then Ryan from That Flipping Family, kind of the same thing. But you know how me and him, we ran into him. He was holding a yard sale, and I had already subscribed to him, and then he had already subscribed to me. And I had my GoPro on the chest strap that day, and I walked up to his yard sale, and he goes, YouTube? And I go, yeah. He goes, I think I subscribe to you. And I thought it was like my first, like, kind of that surreal moment of people who actually watch you. And it was kind of a friendship born in that moment. And then he made that comment on the pool when the lifeguard joined in on his break and started doing flips in the pool. He goes, man, I haven't seen 9-foot water in forever. Anything above 5 feet's amazing. And I was like, we should come out. And that's how that happened. And I don't know. I think that's how the best relationships are created when you don't expect it. So,
yeah, absolutely.
I think for the weekend though, today is what, Tuesday, and end of Tuesday. I think by Saturday, I want to have like $1,000 minimum listed on Mercari.
Okay.
Like I'm trying to push a goal, but like I do know I have like, I don't know, 75 to 100 Funko Pops that would easily get me there. But I don't know if I want to spend all week listing Funko.
Right.
I was gonna ask, do you have like are these multiples, or are you gonna list individual Funko Pops?
Well, I have enough to do individuals if I want. Okay. But like I said, we bought that toy store a couple years ago. I mean, I bought an entire wall of Funko. Like it was like, I wish I still had photos. If I can find them, I'll send them to y'all. It was ridiculous, the store setup we had. I mean, we had glass cases for the center island. I mean, I had everything from the small little mystery packs that the kids buy for like $3-4. I think when it's all said and done, I had like 10 cents a pack in those. And I was still selling them at $2 and $3 a piece. And it's just, the problem was having that much inventory. Our booth rent was $300 I want to say it was $3 or $375. It was up there a month. And when you're only open Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Friday is your movie, so kind of like your move-in your inventory day, people straggle in. But when Saturday and Sunday are your biggest 2 days, and you're talking 7 to 8 good days a month of sales, if you have one bad day, it could ruin your chance to make rent. And I'm like, we bought all this inventory to just pay someone to have it somewhere stored. I'll just go buy $100 storage unit at a third or fourth of the cost of a monthly, and I can just sell out of it. Now I've had that unit for a year, and I still have spent less on that than having that booth, and I have the opportunity to keep making more money out of it. Which past few months I haven't done anything with that unit. It's just been sitting there because it's just been too darn hot.
Yeah. It's been 108 here today, so it's been It's crazy.
But it was a dry heat.
A drier heat, yes, the drier heat. Not southern heat. Humid.
What state are you in? What state are you in?
California.
Oh, okay.
So
I think that today was 10%. It's what you said today. It was like
20%, yeah, something like that. Something not ridiculous.
Because it was like he circled it. I would give for those days. And
it's still unbearable, but yeah, probably not as bad with a 50% humidity or anything like that. I'd die.
I don't know. It baffles me, like how much drastic. Like I can step outside now, and like 10 years ago, it didn't bother me, but now it's like it's just I step outside and I feel drained. It's like I feel like to step out, I feel like I turn gray again. Like all of it just keeps turning more gray. Like I'm getting old. Like it's bad, Brian will get there.
Oh yeah, that's why I got my hat on, man, just to
cover up your grays. Yeah, man. You got to rep your grays if you got them.
Man.
But I've noticed the past few years, man. Like I've had grays since what? 19, 20 years old. I've had a little bit. It started like right in the corners, like right here. And it's just spread through like wildfire. Like it's 35 and ticking. So
it's crazy.
So what is let's see. Let's get back to resale. So what is your biggest sale of the month, Scott? Like one item.
The one item, I guess, would be probably the $150 Bible I showed you earlier.
Gotcha.
Probably the highest one. Let me see. I could think of anything else that I've sold like that. A couple $100 items that's sold. I'm trying to get my eBay sales back up, so I I go on there. I've been selling food on eBay too, so yeah, that's.
But is it? I guess food is more quantity based, right? Like you get your money. So
like I try to sell at least 3 or 4 a day, but the goal is to sell 10 a day of a certain item, and I probably have like 5 to 10, fluctuating in between all those that do that each day. So
that's what I'm trying to get to now, building this account, and it's like knowing, I guess, like hard goods and things like video games, I could ship in, but anything that has like an expiration date on it, and I don't mind shipping. I want to hold my own inventory if it has an expiration date,
right.
So I can go, oh, I need to pull that down, and I can manage it immediately.
Exactly.
And that's the part I'm trying to get my inventory management system right in this office. And like this media shelf is one big help, because now it freed up to where I got this just for fun and just hanging out now and displaying stuff. Like, I mean, these are fun. These little Switch controllers.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I did these in a deal. I've sold several, but this one is the Mario edition.
So I thought those were Xbox from afar. They look like Xbox controllers.
Yeah, these are Nintendo Switch ones, and they were the wireless ones with the battery impacts in the back. So yeah, from Power A. But I just sold one of these, Scott, the Mario one. I got $12 into each one of them, and I sold it for $49.99. So I have a box that's like, I got several of them in it. So
yeah, I haven't found too much Switch stuff out here in California. I don't know if everybody's holding on to it or what. So I see all these resellers getting Switches and all this stuff. I haven't seen one.
Yeah, I watch Chase from Chase After the Right Price when it comes to like.
I watched him in the beginning. I got a little turned off by him. It was all the same stuff. It seemed like all that stuff. Phoenix Flippers, I think, is the one I'm watching now that's been doing all the Switch stuff. Phoenix, not Matt, but he does video games. He buys a shitload of video games from GameStop. That was his last video before he went on the longest yard sale videos.
Yeah. But, we actually did a kind of the same deal, buying from like a GameStop style. We went on a road trip. It's probably about in June. We went down to Georgia, and we stopped at one of those. I call it like a mom and pop version of like GameStop, where you still buy, sell, trade. And there was a PS3 game called Aqua Pazza, and it was almost in brand new condition. Like it literally like somebody had just tore the seal. I looked it up. I about had a heart attack. It was like $59 is what it was selling for on Amazon.
Wow.
I just sold it. Again, prices fluctuate like the stock market, and to try to always be competitive. And it finally sold this week, and I got $43 for it. And I paid $12. Okay. Like, I was like, the margins are just, you got to know like certain games are limited print, or they didn't think it was going to be such a big hit, and then they didn't make enough of them. And like everybody wants to buy games like this. And I'm like, no, that's not where the money's at. Like, this is not gonna make you the return. It might be good for bundles.
Yeah.
Like if you have an Xbox One that you got that works great, and you want to bundle it on the Facebook Marketplace, then yes, this game will sell that unit because everybody wants it, but it's not valuable alone.
Right. So, they made millions of copies of that, so there's no value in it.
Like I have several people wanting this unit, the Gears of War unit for the Xbox.
Oh yeah. Yep.
I'm not getting rid of it. I paid I want to say $25 for the unit because I ended up getting a bunch of controllers with it and stuff that were not. I bought with it was a 360, the C3PO edition, the Star Wars controller.
Nice.
Yep.
I paid $40 for the entire lot. It had games, it had everything, and he's like, I don't have the Gears of War controller, but I got this one, and it was a C-3PO. Like, I said, oh no, that's fine.
That's fine. That's all right. I'll
gladly take that one.
You know, like, and that's where, like, I hate to say it, like, you have to know the market, you have to know your inventory, and it's just knowledge is the new money in a new way.
Yeah,
like it really is. And like,
now when is the new PS4 coming out?
Oh, the PS5 that looks like
5. We have the 4.
It looks like a Wi-Fi router. I'm guessing November or whatever. Usually the fall,
right before Christmas.
Yeah, so like October, November. I have not seen the official day. I'm sure one of the guys you see in here that has the hashtag IMP. Those are the PS4 boys that our daughter dates Peyton. That's his crew.
Okay.
So they would know that one probably before anyone else. It says, but I will tell you, that's the thing coming up too. Is Brian, how do you feel about upcoming with like Black Friday? Like that's like to me the next big thing to be talking about, because if you haven't already got into the Halloween, now's the time to have already had that up, because people are going to be buying into that all through September. So the next big thing for me, honestly, is the Black Friday event and preparing for make sure my money's ready to be able to make those big investments.
Yeah.
So will you make a big buy on Black Friday to get some inventory, or how do you even decide what to go after, I guess, if that's
what I would tell you to do is follow, like, how do I put this? Like, you know how like last year one of the NBA games went crazy? I guess, as they say, follow the hype.
Okay.
But don't get too deep. Like let's say the PS5 comes out and all of a sudden they go, oh, it flew off the shelves. Well, if you had already bought one and didn't open it, let's say it is ready for Black Friday. Well, right before Christmas time, they might have a shortage. If it goes crazy,
sure.
Well, then now your $400 unit is now a $700 or $800 unit just for holding it for a month.
Right.
You know, and I'm sorry, that's a good return, but like I'll sell it all day long. I won't open it for a month to get double my money.
Sure.
You know, but I think you have to know again, I think everyone's different with that, knowing what's a good investment strategy. What I like, Scott, I like selling in multiples, like to me. So if I can find an item, let's say a $60 item that they're going to put on clearance for $9, I would buy as many of that item first before I bought that high ticket item that took all of that capital away. You know, because I have more potential of making a sell and profit on every single item than I would on one. I'm hoping for that one person to be inclined enough to pay more than retail.
Well, on Amazon, that's where Keepa comes in, because you could do a track of a year. You could see how much that goes for on the top. Like right now for Halloween candy, you can see where you can buy. I was showing the guys earlier or a couple weeks ago the top of what this candy is like a week before Halloween, because everybody's out of stock. You know, so Keepa, you could look at that now. I went deep into Halloween costumes last year for Halloween, but I don't think many people are going to go out like traditionally. I think more people are going to be at home doing house parties and stuff like that and decorating their home. So I think that's where Halloween. But I usually buy before Black Friday, because if you watch, Target has 2 for $25. And all these deals right before, a month before Christmas, and that's when you look for those great deals when you can buy 3, 4, 5 video games or whatever for $25 at Target or Walmart or wherever.
So that's like the logistical stuff that I think you have to be more informed when you move into Amazon, just kind of understanding these things that you guys are talking about now. Because like me as an eBayer or whatever, like I can go purchase some stuff and have it here and list it and not have to really worry about this like pre-prep time and lead time and all these things that Amazon sort of imposes that you have to make these considerations.
Well, like replenishables or like holiday is like, again, time sensitive, because your market of people, ship times and stuff, all that plays into it. But like one of the big things I think, like let's say someone who wants to get into reselling, who has, let's say, the extra capital to do so, if let's say they love Halloween and they know how to look out for like the best, well, oh, that's an expensive piece. Well, guess what? There's a lot of it that's not going to sell this year. And they're going to end up putting it for 75 and 90% off right after. And if they're inclined enough and they know they can hold it till next year, a lot of the stuff is regurgitated. If you watch all the costumes, they're brought back every single year. So all you got to do is you stock up, go put it in your storage unit along with all the other stuff you've got. Make sure it's taken care of, make sure whatever. And then August 1, be prepared to ship it into Amazon or have it listed and go at it again. I mean,
but even for eBay, you can start buying Christmas stuff right now, like ornaments and the stuff, garage sales and stuff like that. People are going to start buying that soon. So even for eBay, you can be on the lookout for Halloween stuff that people want to do, their house in or whatever that you see at garage sales and all that stuff. So
it's hard to believe we're almost through this month, and it's like August is almost gone. So
I know. I just used my shipping coupon for eBay, so I'm like, I can't believe it's like already the 17th, 18th. I was like, oh, I gotta use my coupon. So
absolutely. So how are you? What is your choice of when you're using your coupon? What do you focus on getting?
I get either the small boxes, the 6x4x4 boxes, but today I got the poly mailers, the 8x whatever they are, poly mailers. So I usually get those because I like to ship small stuff on eBay and stuff like that. So that's usually what I do.
So Brian,
last coupon I got the small bubble mailer. So hey.
Pictures in reselling. Good to see you.
Yeah, exactly. That's awesome.
Hey, Victoria.
Anyways, yeah, Victoria. Yeah. I'm gonna hop off.
All right, man. No, it's fun.
Baby ready for bed. So yeah,
I can't believe it's already 10:12.
I know. So we're sleep training, and he has a bedtime at 7:30. So he's gonna be 1 next week. So yeah,
gracious. All right, man.
All right, thanks, man. Thanks for having me on. See you guys later.
Absolutely, man.
All right, see ya.
So did you use your coupon yet, or?
So like I have a smaller, I guess the basic store or whatever. So I don't think I get the coupon until you have a until you have a larger one. So I hear everybody talking about using the coupons. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, if you step into using that middle store, it does kind of help alleviate that every month part of that cost. But those boxes are so overpriced. Like, holy crap. Like, we're doing good tonight. Just hanging out, just shooting the breeze, trying to, I guess you say, be more who we are in the meantime, kind of the beyond the hustle. Like, we talk resale, we're going to do all that. I might start doing this more often. Just more of anything you want to know, like, what are we doing this week? Because there might be some things that we all can help each other with or have a better understanding, and it might help you in different avenues and you didn't even know it. So I think that's part of what I want to do is, like, tonight, like, I was going to do a Twitch stream again tonight. Like, we're, like, for me, it's like I want to do multiple things and I enjoy multiple things. And it's not just my channel. It's not just reselling. Like, it could be saving money or it could be many other things because the hustle evolves. Like, it's not just one thing for me. So, like, the kids, they enjoy video games. Well, I grew up playing video games. So part of my beyond the hustle is just playing those games with them. I think one of the things, you might have to check it out with us. It's going to be fun. This week, I'm going to be buying the game on Xbox called Grounded. Do you remember Honey, I Shrunk the Kids?
Yeah.
So this is a game kind of like that where you get shrunken, like a bunch of kids get shrunk down to the size of an ant, and you have to survive in the backyard.
Oh, wow.
And then you're coming up against like giant ants, and they are giant to you. And it's like, oh crap. Then you have to survive like them. And God forbid, if I know at some point someone's going to be pushing a mower.
It's almost a must, right?
It's a must. It's like you can get near a fence, you're gonna hear a weed eater or something, and it's gonna make you run. And water, a flood's gonna happen because it rains. But the thing is, it's not gonna be like a heavy rain. It's gonna be a little sprinkle or drizzle, and it's gonna be like a flood.
Yeah,
I just know it.
Little droplets will come and swoop you up and knock you away, and Oh man.
Oh, it's fine. No, it was kind of impromptu. It was kind of last minute. Just I honestly had my video stuff. I didn't have it ready to launch for the week, so I figured it'd be a good way to break it up every once in a while. If I don't have a video quite ready to release, then I'll hop in because I want to be more consistent about having something out every week, whether it's doing a live or have a video out. Like I want to make sure that I'm consistent because that's part of it is being here, being consistent, and just enjoying it with everybody. I think that's the best part. And drummer, yes, we are in North Carolina. I know Dumpster Diver Dad, he's in California, and he had to step out for a little bit, and put his kids to bed. But yeah, it's funny how we find each other. It's like when I first got into this December of last year into this year, I did not know a single North Carolina reseller at all. And it's such a tight-knit community because like no one wants to talk about it. But yet my county is the world's worst for resellers.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah. Like I go down what I endearingly call Little Mexico, which is in Smithfield, to the flea market there. And I swear to you, you could find everything you thought you were going to find the weekend before at the yard sales. You'll find there because they're trying to resell it. Oh, you're outside of Charlotte.
Yeah. Queen City right there.
Absolutely. He knows no Amazon resellers around there. Well, there actually probably is Amazon sellers there. They're just not speaking of it. One thing I did find the further I went west is they're more guarded about what they do. I don't know why that is. It's like I try to be an open book to a certain extent. I mean, I'm not going to tell you every item that I sell, but I think it's more of me showing a process. Like some people don't find value in me doing CDs. Like I enjoy CDs. It's kind of nostalgic for me. So one of the videos I did was Dimes to Profits. I don't know if you had a chance to see that, but I literally had 34 CDs, right? I paid $3. I had less than 10 cents a piece. And I wanted to take a different look on the way money works for you. Like think about what $3, right? If you left it in your bank account or savings account, you get less than 1% interest for the year.
Sure. Yeah.
You're getting 75 cents per 100 in your bank. So what's $3 going to do for you? Nothing.
Right.
You're going to get pennies. So I thought, okay, well, what can I do? Maybe someone who needs. Oh, I'm sorry. I totally forgot when I switched it down. But no, I think it's just I done lost my train of thought because that was funny. But I don't know, man. People are guarded here. Like it really is. Like it's weird. I think for people who aren't part of that YouTube community, I think once you become part of YouTube and you're part of that community, you're a little bit more apt to share it and to talk about it. And it's just part of that community of just openness and sharing it with everybody. But I think if you're sort of, you're not part of it, you want to hoard it, you want to protect it because you think that there's, if you tell someone that this is a bolo or something like that, that it's going to get out and then you're going to have this market that you have to fight against, right? Well, I mean, at some point, you're going to have people selling it either way. And if it was going to tank your advice, unless you're one of these really big channels, you're not going to tank an item as much as you think. Sure. Or if you share it with someone, how likely are they to actually go find the exact item that you have? Right. There's a lot of variables there. But with me, with trying to think about money in a different way, I thought, I don't know, for 15 minutes of my time, right? Like, I look at things different. I was already going to be messing with them anyway because I like CDs and stuff. I mean, $3. I turned them into $12 and something. All I had to do was put them in a box that I didn't pay for to begin with because it was a free out of a dumpster dive we did. Okay, like again, all the materials. Like I have bubble wrap, like consistent. Like I have this. There's a bubble wrap? I forgot the name of it, but it has like a silver, like protective heat shield on it.
Oh, okay.
In industrial stuff.
Mm.
Well, I found rolls of it in a dumpster one night. I brought that home. Sumo, what's up, man?
What's up, Marcus? What's up?
Man, I will have to tell you, I love the new rebranding. I cannot wait till I get to order me a shirt. Because I am a big boy myself, and I love the fact that it's selling unique merchandise online. That was the perfect. It fit him better. I enjoyed that. That was perfect.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
it's good.
Like, it was just so fun to see him. And
yeah, when I saw the video, I thought, like, because he titled it as kind of like goodbye. You know, I saw the goodbye and was like, oh man, really? I know a lot of people have been rebranding their channels, kind of getting out of reselling.
Right.
And so I thought this is going to be another video of him going, okay, guys, I'm done with eBay. I'm moving on to something else. But then
I really thought that at first, because when I clicked it, you know, you get that moment right before you click it, like, oh, here we go. Like, I was ready for that same thing because I had been watching him, and then he's like, oh, I just have to tell you, I'm rebranding. I'm like, oh my God. It was so much funny for me. Like, I went into, I said, he's not. I was like, oh God, I feel much better that he's still around. Like, I don't know. I guess you even if we've never met, right? Like, you have that sense of the community,
right?
And I was like, he brings so much good information to the table. I'm like, no, I wanted to cry out, no, don't go. Like, man,
there's definitely people in the community that just feel like you don't know them, but you know you Instagram or whatever, and you feel like if we were all in the same area, we could just like hang out or whatever, a game. Absolutely. Or it just be like cool, right? It's not a big, it's not a big deal.
Well, I think that's kind of like Ryan over at That Flippin' Family. Like we said, yeah, for sure. I didn't want a nickname. Yeah, I think with it is at the community aspect of it is it makes it more bearable because as a reseller, you find it being a very lonely road. And most of the time, no one in your household understands it other than you, unless you're lucky to have like your other half who is doing it with you.
Yeah.
You know, like my other half, no, like she does not want anything to do with this. Our kids don't really know. Like I am trying to help them understand what I do. Like our son, he doesn't even really, he forgot about it, but I kid you not, he wanted a toy one time and he comes up and he says, can I get this toy? But he had two of them in his hand. The exact same toy. It was a $20 toy, but it was on clearance for $5. Do you know what his statement was to me? He goes, can I get both of these? Because I want one, but I want you to sell the other one so I don't have more money in it. I don't have no cost in it. How can you say no to that? Because the mindset, the process of you could buy two of them for half the price, sell one, and yours is free.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful mindset. If anything, it teaches him to be frugal. I don't necessarily want him to make money as a reseller, but if he could do that and know the market, man, like.
Yeah, that's the one thing I'm trying to teach my kids, that, you can save your money, be frugal, but there's a business out here that you can, or a way that, not necessarily a business, but a way that you can take the things that you have and do these kind of, I don't want to say tricks, but these tricks to like turn this money that you've got and make some better stuff out of it. Yeah.
So Sumo's wife won't get involved. Why do you think that is, though? Is it not? I don't know. Like for me, I think my family just wants to enjoy the spoils of what we do in this community. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm not kidding you. You should look it up. My other half, Joy, changed her YouTube name to Spoiled by the Hustle. You don't understand. She'll take it firsthand. She is spoiled.
Oh man.
But again, like when you go through life, man, and you finally find someone that you can actually be happy with day in, day out, and you find that it's a friendship, it's a best friend, love of your life, whatever, you can afford to be spoiled. And I think it's just so fun to live life the way we do now. And it actually makes me feel proud that she can be spoiled, because at the same time I get spoiled in return, because what better feeling is it than to provide for your family? To me, there's nothing better. I enjoy it. And I'll be honest with you, I haven't really worked in the past 4 weeks outside of my full-time job. I mean, I've listed here and there, but Amazon's been rolling. I'll list whatever I get, and that's part of it too. Is now, do you set yourself a goal? Do you buy something with the intent or time frame to list it? Because I do.
Yeah, I think when we first started, we didn't. We were just buying whatever we could buy, and we would put it in the death pile, and then we get to it when we get to it. But I think as we've gone further into it, we've definitely tried to get a little bit more strict about setting an actual process of we've got a spreadsheet where we inventory it and then getting it listed and just trying to get it through. Because at the end of the day, if you don't list it, you can't make the money on it, and it's a wasted group of money that's just kind of losing value as time goes on.
Well, so, and I think that's with eBay might be having a better option for people like that. Is I've noticed being an Amazon side, right? I had to change my entire thought process. Before, I would buy stuff one weekend, right? And I would say, okay, well, it's in the line of what I need to get done. It's kind of down, it's like a conveyor belt. But then I got to realizing, wait a minute, Amazon said, I found this out. I was like, oh, Amazon, when I bought that, I paid $10 for it. It was supposed to be a $40 item. It's only selling for $22 now. And I realized quickly that if I'm going to buy something on a Saturday at a yard sale that's Amazon worthy, I buy so much new stuff, brand new items that are Amazon worthy, where they bought it and they never opened it. They never did anything with it. And they're like, oh yeah, give me 50 cents for it. And it's a $30 item on Amazon. I have to make it in my conscious effort that will be up when I get home.
Right.
Some of that stuff, I list it while I'm in the vehicle.
Yeah, that's the one thing I think is hilarious to see people on Amazon just, they bought it, and as they're walking to their car, they're listing it, and in some cases making sales. It's, eBay, you could never do that. It'd be you could probably have it up in a few minutes, but it's a process that you have to go through, right? And the speed at which you can get stuff listed on Amazon is just, it's amazing,
I do that with books and audio CD stuff. Now that I finally can sell some audio CDs, man, I'm telling you, the books, if I find really good, low rank, high sales books, man, I won't wait. I'll put them right in immediately. I'm walking to the car. I'm already opening back up the Amazon app. I already put the GoPro away. I'm over here. Okay. And I forget sometimes that, oh, wait, you got to unlock your truck first. I'm over here. I've stood outside of the truck one time trying to list a book, and I forgot that I was in a community where it was narrow. The truck was waiting to pass me, and I'm sitting there scanning the book. I know, not the most safe thing in the world, but
So that's the one thing that I sort of I don't want to say uneasy, but kind of makes me question moving into Amazon. Is just you look at Scoutify, and you look at all the different parameters that they have on a particular item that you want to sell. The rank and the price and all these different things. And I just feel like you have to be a genius to some degree to make money on there. Maybe you don't. You just have to understand it. But I definitely feel like there's a learning curve to getting
there definitely
into
is. Harry's back in the house.
Hey, what's up, Harry?
Man, I love watching him when he goes live, just kicking back, and it's fun. But for me, man, there's nothing better. And I think with you if you wanted to get started, treat your Amazon the same way you treat your eBay when you package everything. That's what I did. And I'm not really I've got stuff that I could go FBA. I just, at some point, if it's going to sell, if it's in the sales rank, and that's the thing, getting into this business, if it's in such a sales rank, it's going to sell whether it's FBM or FBA. So, I mean, if you're set up at home and already kind of doing the right process, then who's to say you have to do FBA? You know what I mean? I think that's the thing. Everybody's like, oh, well, you need to do FBA. I really think there's a benefit of doing FBA, but as you're growing, I think you need to focus on learning the process and of that process. So that way, when you make the transition, you understand the value of because your number will drop. You know, like you can demand more money, but how much is it really costing you in fees?
Right.
And that'll help you assess, oh, well, I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to pack it. I don't have to. Then you really put the time and effort and materials cost in more perspective. And I think that's what it's got for me, is I'm finally to that point where, oh, now I can start really relating to the cost of using FBA. Because for me, FBM was the way to go, because it's like, oh, I can hold the inventory just like I did eBay. And, you know, when it sells, I pack it and ship it. And I said this on Buffalo's Live the other week. No one's going to pack it better than me.
Right. Yep.
You know, like we've got stuff from Amazon before, and it's one little piece, and it's in a giant box with a piece of like the air pocket, the airbag pieces, and it's all slung around in there. And I'm like, that's no way to pack something.
Right.
Like when they get it with me, I break out the little, you know, multi-tool, and I, you know, score it out, make sure it's perfect. You know, I mean, I know time's money, but at the same time, presentation is everything.
It's a trade-off, definitely, for sure, right?
Absolutely.
Everything's a trade-off, and making that call is, that decision or whatever.
Catskill Mountains, New York. Man, Harry, you got to post some pictures of this. Go ahead and see what you're up to out there. Maybe you should do a live. Maybe you should do like a live to get people to see the area.
Catskill Mountains. I've never been up to. Wow, that's a beautiful little area. Just look at pictures real quick online just to get an idea of what it's like up there. It's pretty nice, man.
Gracious, man.
Yeah.
That's beautiful right there. You can't not. You know what? I have been so busy. You know what? Let me put that on my list to do. Hold on one second. Let me put that up here. All right, brother. I got you pulled up. I see them right there. They'll be on my playlist as soon as I get off of here.
Oh, man.
I'm going to ask you, did you go to Woodstock? Because that was one of the first pictures that popped up when I did the Catskill Mountains for New York search. I can imagine, man. Wi-Fi at any mountain sucks. I don't care how good. Like, I'm sorry. Every self-service, everything is just like it cannot go through there. Of course,
right?
I mean, my goodness.
Yeah, the area I live in is not very mountainous. You know, it's not like that. But we definitely have these spots around my house that are just blacked out, can't get service. And
now, what part of the area? Because I know like Cary and Fuquay have like major rolling hills through there, and you could be in the bottom of a pit and not even realize it.
Yeah. That's rolling hills all around us, you know.
Yeah, driving Uber, like there'd be times where it's like cell service not found or no service, and I'm like, where am I? Like, you ever had that moment when you're doing something and go, did I stray too far away?
Right. And then it's crazy around here because you'll hit these kind of like situations where you're like, there's nothing around me, and then you'll go a block or two and you'll be dropped in the middle of another city that you didn't know. I mean, just the way it's just exploding around here, it's just crazy, you know.
It's fun though. I love exploring, and I think that's the one thing about as one of the hustles of driving Uber and Lyft. I mean, I did that for over 3 years until this pandemic hit, right? So it gets you to explore the area that you think you know and realize how much you don't know. Like I've been in places that I go, oh my God, how do you get back here? Like, who would want to live back here? You realize there's like only like 4 multimillionaires that bought this entire like 8-block radius, and it's like caged off, and they don't want no one there. And I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, I don't know. I think everyone has different. I've always loved the community. Like when I drove Uber, I met so many like professional like sports players. I mean, and those guys, I feel like, are some of the people who they could offer more than they're giving. You know, it's like we do this as a community, and we care enough to share. And it's like, come on, guys, like y'all could do better. If I could do this, you could do better.
Right. Right.
You know, and it's just some of these guys are so hilarious, and I think that's the fun part is like we got to find the fun in everything we do. So like, I think tomorrow's Wednesday, right?
Yep.
I've started being more conscious about my YouTube. Like I told you, like trying to make sure every week I will be posting something, and I have been. And I didn't have my video ready. So like I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do a live. I was gonna do one yesterday because like that's usually my thing. Monday, Tuesday is when I upload now. And it gives me the weekend in case something better happens. I could quick edit that video, you know, and I could have it up if I wanted, but I don't know.
Man, I definitely feel like you're calling me out ever so slightly. I haven't done a video in, I guess, about a month now.
Oh yeah, well, let's talk about that one.
Oh man.
I wasn't trying to call you out, but now you know.
Man, I definitely feel like this little nudge just ever so slightly on my shoulder, you know.
And I'm pulling you to the, well, I don't want to say the dark side because I do have cookies. But no, like I think it's do it on your term, man. Like I found that once a week for me it works good in my schedule. You might find that every 2 weeks or whatever it is. And then I found where I had actually found enough to do 2 videos at one time, right? And then I didn't have to do anything for 2 weeks because I had them already scheduled.
Right.
You know, so like, I don't know. It's all a matter of perspective of what you want to do. But you're so active in everyone else's chats. Like you're growing without having to do as much of that. But I've enjoyed it so far, man. It's been fun. I mean,
yeah, I'm kind of getting caught up on the I guess the more technical aspects of wanting to make like a perfect video and thumbnails and you know just the whole like death by 1,000 cuts of research. You know what I'm saying? And that
video is perfect. Like you see a lot of these guys who are produced, and there's a lot there to be said, but. At the same time, I think it's also the value in which you bring. Like if you bring, like some people might say, Alton, your videos suck, and you're probably right. Like, but again, I'm not doing it for those people. All right, Harry, have a good night, man.
All right, man. See you later. Take care.
Watch the videos tonight. But I want to make sure, like, if I'm doing it, I don't care what people think, right? Like, if I have something I want to say, I'm going to say it. Whether like I've always been that way, and you know, strike me dead, I will say it whether it makes you happy or not. Like, because I'd rather me be honest with you and say, well, I don't want to be like I told you so. Like, but at the same time, it's like, well, I'm not gonna lie to you. You know what I mean? So I'd rather be honest with people in my resale business and. Everybody's like, oh, well, you don't need to be as transparent. Like, but maybe I can be transparent about the process.
Yeah, I don't know. I think having some transparency is good because it really frames and shows people like what the experience is all about. Because, I mean, you get some people that just show the good stuff. And you go and buy a pallet and then you get it home and you're like, I watched, you know, this person and they brought home this pallet and there was nothing but gold. I get the pallet and it's like trash. And I can't sell it. Like, so I think definitely just kind of setting that level set and saying like, this is what it's actually like when you get a pallet, you know?
And I think people don't understand is the work that goes into those.
Right.
Like, I mean, not to call anyone out, but $40 pallet, and it took you 3 days to go through it. And you hold a yard sale, it's another day. Let's call it 4 days of processing. And to make what? I mean, I don't know, a few $100s. Like, yes, it's good margins, but was it time well spent? And I think that's where I'm really hung up on wanting to do stuff like that. Like, I'm very picky now when it comes to what I resell. You know, like, I used to buy anything. I hate to be like that. Like, oh, that looks pretty cool. Let me buy it. Now it's like, oh, well, if it don't fit my margin, like I have in my head, like this sales rank, like I know a bunch of the max sales ranks. Like I even have a printed list on Amazon that shows category lists and it shows like top 1%, 5%, 10%. And usually there's one of these in my vehicle when I go yard selling. So when I go, oh, it looks like they have a lot of like electronics and stuff, or a lot of them you can know what's there when they list it. Yeah. I'll take a look real quick and go, okay, books are this. I'll get a mental mindset of where I want to be, and if I find a book that meets that or whatever, I snatch it up, and it's worked for me so far, but I think everyone has to find their process,
Sure.
Like, and I think that's the part where it took me forever to find my process. Like, again, I loved eBay. It was like a love-hate relationship, but I found that I was better off leaving it. It's kind of like that bad relationship that you don't want to leave, but it was in your best interest. It was in my best interest to leave eBay because now I have the opportunity to focus on growing in my Amazon. And I can still, if I want that enjoyment of selling the one-off, I have Mercari, I have Facebook Marketplace, I have other places to do it without that monthly expense of that store that I was running. It just wasn't worth it for me. Now, people might call me crazy. It just wasn't worth it for me, knowing that I wanted to run a different avenue. So, and that's where you have to make that decision too. It's like, if you want to grow into Amazon, like, I'm not going to tell you it's taken away. It shouldn't take away, but you're going to notice as the more you lean to Amazon, it's going to pull you away from your eBay a little bit. And that's a balancing act. And I mean,
Yeah, so when I initially first started, I said this a little bit earlier, we jumped into the whole like book selling, and that seems like the first way to sort of get your feet wet. And, we'd go up to the thrift store and you'd see this like wall of all these books. And, the suggestion at the time was just like, start scanning and just scan and scan and scan and scan. And I think when we first started, it was before we had really gotten into, because the next thing we sort of actually picked up was doing clothes. And so definitely the clothes, you're sitting in the thrift store just racking. And, I think sort of looking back with the process that we end up taking with books, we probably could do, with clothes, we could do books just the same. Because at the end of the day, it's the same thing. You're searching through clothes, you're searching through books, and the speed at which you can do it is all just dependent on your ability to move quickly through those items. So, I mean,
again, like, not everything is created equal for everyone in their market. So,
sure.
Like, if you decide, hey, well, like, I'll give this, one of my buddies, Kevin over there at Thrifting Lounge, his knowledge for clothes and how he sells them on eBay, I'm like, that just baffles me, the things that he sells. You know what I mean? Hey, and Sumo Thrift, I sent you out a message. If you want to join in, man, more than welcome to come in and chat and banter. We'll probably be on here. I'll probably cut it off around 11 or so. I just want to do this for a couple hours, hang out. But I don't know. I think it's, again, what knowledge you bring to the table. Like, that might be someone's specialty is clothes. Well, mine, I like media, games, stuff like that. So it's not going to be, I'm not going to do it as much. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to choose something that I don't know. But now I will tell you, some of those names he drops in his videos and stuff, it's like, don't get me wrong. When my kids or stuff were there and we're looking, I still look, just mindset to look for certain pieces of clothing. And if it's a reasonable price, I'll pick it up. But I try not to deal much with clothing because I can't stand listing it.
Right.
Like, for me, I can't. Like, it just baffles me how much it's like growing up, you hated taking out the trash, things like that. It feels like
even now I hate taking out the trash. Let's just be honest.
Honestly, I hate taking out the trash. Like, and it's funny. Me and I have had that conversation the other day. I really do despise taking out the trash. Like, like, I'll do it begrudgingly, but that's almost. I would rather honestly take out the trash than list clothes.
Oh wow, okay.
Because at the end of the day, I'm more likely to throw that piece of clothing in the trash or in a Goodwill thing to go donate. Like, I think I've got, I don't know, 4 or 5 pieces of clothing. And Flipping Goodies sent me a box of clothes, and I'll pull out a piece here and there, and list it. But outside of that, it's like, that's only resale clothes I got. It's what he sent me just for clearing out a drawer one time.
Wow.
And it was just because I forgot what we were doing, and I guessed a number or something. I guessed something right on his live one night, and he just said, "I'll send this box over to you." I thought he was joking. He sure did. He sent it to me.
Nice.
You know, and I don't know. I find that it's just fun to share. And some people are going to call you crazy, whatever. But I don't know. I don't want to lose sight of why I'm doing it. You know, like for me, I mean, I don't know about you, but one day your kid is going to be able to look back at this and go, "Oh, this is what he did." You know what I mean? Like when Sean's 11, he turns 12 this year. Like, I don't know, 6 years from now. I mean, I don't know where I'm going to be in 6 years. You know, like I might be still at my job or I might be a full-time reseller. I don't know, but I'm telling you is that I'm going to document the journey.
Right.
I don't care if I have 200 subscribers or 40,000. I'm going to be me, you know? And
yeah,
I
man,
think
that's all you can be at the end of the day, right? Just be yourself and stick to who you are. And, you know, that's how you can look yourself in the mirror at the end of the day.
Earlier, I will share this with y'all. And this is, I had one of them very, what do you call it? The moments of the come to Jesus meeting with who I was today. And the person that I'm trying to portray, right? Like I know the person that I want to be. And then, but sometimes people catch you the wrong way and you turn and you snap. It's like when you beat that dog long enough, right? And he'll turn around and bite you, right? Well, today we were in Walmart just getting a few grocery things done. And I was looking at my Ibotta app and I'm like, hey, I'm only a few things away. I need a few more offers and I get an extra bonus for the midweek bonus. Well, she goes, hey, you're Apple Jacks. I'm a sucker for Apple Jack cereal. Like that is my thing. There, that is my favorite, you know. I walked down the aisle and I kid you not, at the very end of the aisle where it says, you know, they have the arrows now, like shop this way. There was a cart turned sideways, like blocking off the entire aisle. I kindly, no one's around, move the cart to the side and keep walking. Well, I guess because I touched this man's cart today.
Oh, no.
He said something, and it's just like this. He goes, well, I'm sorry I'm in your way, sir. And I said, oh, my mask was on. You know, like this thing is covering your face, you know, like I said, oh, no, I guess the body reaction, you don't see it.
Right.
Oh, no, you're fine. I tried to walk away. I put the hand up. I don't know if he thought I was trying to ignore him or what. But then all of a sudden I heard it again. And he got more sarcastic with it. Like, sorry I'm in your way, sir. And it kept on. And it was like a broken record. I grabbed my Apple Jacks from the shelf, right? And I'm about to turn to walk that way. And he said it one more time. And I heard him call me a smart A.
Oh, man.
I literally turned around and I pretty much called him a dumb A. And by that time, I was like, I wanted to walk by and say, you know how easy it would be to slap you with this box of Apple Jacks right now? Like, like that needs to be a meme from now on. I think I want a shirt that's made that says, don't try me, I will slap you with my box of Apple Jacks. Like, I think that needs to be my new thing. I need to have a shirt made. But, you know, and then after that, like, I felt so uplifted after my family saying, you're better than that. Like, don't let them drag you down, right?
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, Sean makes a comment. He says, mess with the hustle and you get the muscle.
Oh man.
I was like, now that's shirt worthy. Like, I was like, okay.
Trademark that.
I'm going to have to work on that. I'm actually working on a t-shirt now for it.
Hey, Clay. Yeah. Brian here.
Yeah, that's Brian, man. Good old Tri Flippers, man.
Yeah.
Like, that's what got me though when I saw that, like Tri Flippers. I was like, there's not many try places. It has to be the Tri. Like, that's how I found out he was near me, Clay. Did you get any more of that stuff listed, or are you completely listed on all your stuff that you got?
Yeah, we're pretty much all caught up. We've got some things. Thanks, Victoria. Yeah, we're pretty much all caught up. We've got some final couple items here and there, but for the most part, we're pretty much caught up with what we've got. What about you?
It was good to see you. Have a good night. Get those invoices out. Make that money.
Yeah. Victoria's one of those hard workers. I see her every morning. She's got her morning and her what is it called? The auction that she has. So it's intense, man.
Yeah, I might have to get with her. Like once I organized all this stuff that I'm going through to get my Mercari list for Q4, I may have to get with them to try to do some auction stuff because I was actually approached a few weeks ago, maybe it's been about a month ago, 3 or 4 weeks, I don't know. I saw you're working online. Working? This is working? Like,
man.
We went to Jacksonville, toward the beach, and one of the guys, Peyton's buddies, he's never been to the beach. So I was like, you know what? I want to make a trip out of it. Oh yeah, I'm still working for UNC, man. I do it online. We remote in. God forbid you have, and the thing is, I deal a lot with hardware. God forbid hardware fails right now. Like, I'm not going to be the one being called. Like, we have a couple of the guys that are closer, but yeah, that's the reason why right there, that place. I don't know if y'all have seen in the news, but UNC is like, it's a cluster, literally.
Yeah.
Clusters and clusters and clusters and more pop up.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Like,
know
we're going to have a different conversation because I don't want this to get issues with UNC. We'll have another conversation with that. But I'm going to tell you, we gave it till the second week of September before we see this because, common sense would tell you if you don't have it and you're clean, come to school. We didn't realize people who were going to have it were going to lie and come to school. And it immediately fakes you out. And we were 9 days in. 9 days.
Yeah, that's intense, man.
3 clusters in 9 days of opening. And it has a 14-day incubation period. Like, where were these kids at before? I want to know.
Yeah.
But I know I'm not going to campus, so that's all that matters.
Yeah, it's just crazy how that happened.
It's just, and I get constant messages on my phone. It's like alert UNC, and it's like I love my alert Carolina stuff, but at the same time, it's like I don't even guess now. Like, so I got one of the messages at like 5 a.m. I'm like, was this delayed? And they're like, no, we had another case and we had to report it.
Wow.
And because it met that threshold, I was like, oh my God. But
wow.
Yeah, we got a lot going on. We are working though. But I think so. Clay, I don't know if he's still in here. I think he is after all that typing. All that stuff you picked up, how much of it is left to list? Or did you get it all listed? No, Clay, man, he's been on a roll. He's really stepped out of his element, and he really has gone forward and buying, and like he's been trying to, like me and Scott have really. Well, I have friends who are mixing with other friends and not keeping their bubbles tiny. That is true. I mean, that part is kind of worrisome for me, for sure, especially in that like. I have breathing issues, and then, my 2 kids, like one of them, at risk has a health issues, and I don't want it to affect my household. Right. So like, yeah, like you have to be concerned, but at the end of the day, I do look at it as you have to live life. I can't just be shut in. So if I'm taking the best precautions, I mean, how can I say this? If we teach our kids the things they should have been doing to begin with, before this pandemic,
right,
then what do you truly have to worry about? I mean, if you're going to catch it after that, you're going to get it either way. I mean, wash your hands consistently, like keep antibacterial, whatever, like just keep it with you.
Right.
Oh, only the hats left, man? That's awesome. This Clay has been kicking into gear. I can't wait to see him. I can't wait to see him start showing us some of the numbers of what's coming through. He stepped in. Clay is what do you call it? 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 What do you c he's actually been a good friend to me since starting this. And, like I was feeling down. He'd be like, man, keep going, man. You're doing good. Or, like he's been very supportive. So like for me, seeing him step into that resale part, like I want to be as supportive for him because like it's the transition. I don't know if you remember when you first made your go into it. It's a mindset that's really tough to get over. And it's like a mental gap. It was a mental gap for me to go, why would anybody want to buy from me? I'm not Walmart. Like, right. And I realized that they don't see you. And once I realized that they don't see the individual, they see the product. If you list a good product, you have a good product.
Right.
And it doesn't matter as long as you meet the standards. I mean, I could be in BFE and I'm sending it to California. Like, it doesn't matter as long as I honor exactly what I list and how I list it and provide the best service.
They're happy and they move on, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that's what some people don't realize. But now Clay's going to be killing it soon, so I can't wait to on the next one we'll get Clay on and have him talking and get him.
Is he doing Amazon? Because I thought he was just eBay.
He's doing eBay, right? I think he's doing eBay.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So maybe soon, maybe one of these days we'll get him into the Amazon side. But again, with anybody, when you're really trying to push your knowledge and get comfortable, eBay is the way to go. Like, I'm not going to be the one to tell you, oh, well, you said you don't sell eBay. But I've been past that threshold.
Right.
He says, do what more? Because you work harder than I do. I've just been working on my mindset lots because anxiety gets to me and I will ruin a whole day and not run or list, etc. eBay and Posh. Yeah, Clay, I really get you there. I completely understand that because I do suffer from really high anxiety. Like even last week, like a few days, I was suffering from bad panic attacks out of nowhere. Like it's just, mother half like, what's wrong? I said, I don't know. Like every little thing threw me over the edge, and I had to go lay down or get to myself or something, and it ruined. Like I didn't do any listing last week. Like it ruined it. I know exactly that feeling of it can ruin your mindset. And that's why I said, just once you get through that part, take care of yourself first, and then get back on the train and let's keep going. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like we all have that moment, like. But I'm bad for that too. I'll ruin my day.
Yeah, I've never really seen a community that has really talked about like your mindset and how you approach things. Like Clay and then Emily, they both are big on, reaching your center and figuring out where you're gonna getting your mind straight, sort of thing, right? I don't know where I was going with that, but I like the stuff they talk about, getting your mind straight. Yeah.
I think it's an important factor, especially when one of the goals for a lot of resellers is to be a full-time reseller. If you don't have that right mindset or the innate ability to handle it, you might have the right in your mindset, but if you can't handle it regardless and stick through the process,
right?
A lot of people don't understand the process is more important than the product,
right?
And like Clay has a good process, like he's like me. I got to get out of here. This is my worst enemy. It's like, oh, I don't want to do it today. Like I'm not feeling great. Sometimes my other half has to kick me in gear and says, hey, go to work. You know what I mean? Like she kicked me out of the house a while back and said, go do Instacart, leave. But again, I come back, I felt better. I had got to do something productive and it changed my mindset. So it takes people kicking you in the rear.
Right. So you've tried lots of these to like you've done like Instacart and Lyft and
yeah, I still do them.
Really?
Like, and that's part of what with my channel. It's not just reselling. Like I said, it's like being addicted to the hustles is not just a hustle. I say addicted to hustle because I look at it as the hustle is who I am. Like it's what's in, I embody the term of a hustler. So like for me, one day I might rock Instacart. And after this pandemic is done, dude, you'll see me rock. Like it was nothing for me to turn in 20 hours between $400 and $600 a week on Uber and Lyft. Like I would rock those Friday nights, bar crawls at UNC. I was already there. You think about my day. Like I told you, our family calls me a robot for a reason.
Yeah.
I'll have to read that in a second here. So if I lose track of this, I would literally leave at like the house at 6:30 in the morning to drive my hour and a half to UNC, right? Work all day. Well, I'd leave at 4:30, 5 o'clock whenever I'm done for the day. Instead of going home, I'd literally drive the afternoon from like 5 o'clock to about 7. Get those people leaving work from UNC, helping that part.
Right.
And then I would turn around and go, all right, I'm going to take an hour break or so, and I'm going to go sit down, have me a bite to eat, relax, get my mindset for what's about to come. Because you don't understand the ignorance that happens when so many drunk people get in and out of your car.
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah.
You have to get your mindset around that, right? And I would work all night. I literally would work from like, say, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, whatever I went back online until about 11. I'd work a few hours there, and then I'd get out because you have to stop. Like at some point, you have to get out. And I know that last midnight rush, because I understand the college circuit, they don't go out till 11:45, 12 o'clock.
Right. Yeah.
And they're plastered drunk. So, okay, well, that means from 12 o'clock midnight up until 3:30 in the morning, it's nonstop, right? So, okay, well, I better get my break in now.
Do you find that I don't know, you ever had any problems with like drunk people in your car, or is it pretty manageable for the most part?
It's manageable. I think you have to just understand the presence of, they don't want to get the fine either. Like if they destroy your car, they're getting fined. Okay. I think I only had one person throw up, and they did their best. And unfortunately, I'll tell you another story about that one that wasn't so pretty, but I was in another vehicle that wasn't me. But they ended up just spewing out the window, right? Well, it was raining, which helped, right? But it got into like the seams and stuff, and it still had to get cleaned out, and that was part I had to take care of. But for the night, I ran through the washer, one of the little pull-in washers, sprayed it off, wiped it down, and kept rolling because it was not in the car. No one cares. Get in, get out, let's go. That night, because I found it, and they're like, look, what's it going to take to clean it? And I was like, dude, I'm going to have to take this somewhere. And like, I found it in like the seam, like the rubber seal.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And I'm like, that was gross. And like, I took a photo of it. Do you know they still charged them $150 because it was on the interior of the car?
Wow.
And I said, it's up to you. I'm letting you know what happened, because this is still considered damage. They still charged them $150 for it.
Wow.
So it's fun to see the differences. But Clay, I think if you did get that stuff from Brian, he has a lot of good stuff in his death pile. Did he have an idea like of when you're going to do that? I'd love to be able to see that stuff too when you do it. I think that's going to be a good one for you. Lots of stress about money. Grow the reselling quickly. Yeah, like right now, like I haven't driven Uber or Lyft since March. When I got the notice to come home, they're like, you're going to be working from home. This is getting bad. Like I tried to stick it out as long as I was still working my day job. I could justify still doing that for people. But the moment they sent me home, it's like, okay, I'm not driving.
Right, taking a trip.
I'm not making a trip to the zone just to make money when I can make money from home.
Right.
So I think that's part of that. Is that like poker? You got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's part of it too, man. Just knowing when to bow out and take that time to do something else and find out, when that next opportunity shows up, you're in that right position to catch it,
Exactly. And that's part of like what we're doing is like Clay has even watched. We're just experimenting playing on Twitch, the same name with our channel, Addicted to Hustle, but it's for the people who don't necessarily need to do YouTube all the time. Like it's a different platform, and eventually, I guess I'm gonna pay for the StreamYard to be able to do both platforms. Eventually, when I get a different computer and a capture card, I'm going to just stream it all through YouTube and that, but I'm going to stream it to a gaming channel on underneath the Addicted 2 brand. And it'll be separate from here. But
you ever use like OBS at all? You ever use like OBS?
That one's a bore for me. I like it, but then I don't at the same time because there's so much there to learn. But at the same time, it's simplistic to set up, but it annoys me how many little settings there is.
Right.
If that makes sense, like it really does get on my nerves. And I have it right here. I see it on my desktop, and it's like staring me in the eyes. It's like, play with me, learn me. But I don't know. I don't have the time right now to relearn anything new. But when I get another computer, I'll probably take the time to do that.
Yeah, because I've been thinking about starting up like a gaming channel as well. And I looked at OBS and it's like, man, I could really do some really cool stuff in there. And I have a pretty good grasp of how it works. And I looked at StreamYard and it's like $40 to get some of these features. So it's like a trade-off of, do I want to spend the time and learn and get StreamYard set up and pay for StreamYard, or do I just like slug it out with OBS and figure out how to do all that stuff in there?
Well, see, like if I know like a lot of the stuff I'm streaming is not going to be both dual stream platform. So StreamYard is a free access for me to choose Twitch or YouTube, but I can only run one of them at a time.
Right.
Like I looked at it earlier. It's like if I wanted to do both, it's like $20-something a month just to be able to stream to two different places at the time. And I'm like, I don't want to do that yet. But I'm not going to. There's no need for me to stream like that yet.
There's I've also seen like Restream.io. I don't know if that will work with StreamYard, but that's what a lot of people I know of when they use OBS. They just stream to Restream.io, and then that will stream out to like YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch and whatever.
That's interesting. I'm going to look into that.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's been this process. I feel like. You ever feel like when it's not good enough, you keep pushing forward, and it's like, oh, I got this part down. I never thought I'd be doing a live, and then I did one a few months ago. I haven't seen him, or he hasn't responded. I haven't seen Burgundy Sales in forever. Ron, I don't know where he happened to go to. I don't know what he's been doing. Maybe he got burnt out. We did a live, and then I haven't seen him in forever. And then I don't know what happened, but I'm still doing my thing, hanging out. I sent him a message the other day, still nothing. But at least I'm trying.
Yeah. A lot of Josh was the person that I was really into early on, and he just disappeared. Seemed like out of nowhere.
I'm sure he's taking a break.
Yeah.
He was actually talking about being burnt out because we were talking about doing a live, and he said, "Man, I'm just burnt out. I don't know. I'll let you know when I do another one." And I know he took a break for a while. I hope he comes back and keeps doing more videos because
absolutely,
he had a legit personality that I could get grasp around. And to me, that's the part of it is like the people who you can relate to. Like, no, I'm not for everybody. You know what I mean? Like, and I get that, but at the same time, I might be for somebody. And I think that's where he had that audience where he captivated the people just showing his daily routine. And I enjoyed that.
Right.
Because it helped me with my process. I was like, oh, if he's doing that little steps like this, I could do that step. You know, and he wasn't even talking about it. It was just in general, and I just happened to notice it. And in one of his videos, he rocked my T-shirt that I sent him.
Oh, really?
So
nice.
He was doing an opening, and he actually I guess that last video that Burgundy did trying to be funny, the whole I'm a scammer, I can see where that could be taken the wrong way. But if you knew Ron, I don't think he meant it that way. I think he was just talking about our customers in general, not necessarily him or anything. Heck yeah, man.
Yeah.
You tell me where I got to figure out another place. I might change the camera angle, right? I got this little board here. I want a bigger board, like a whiteboard. I've already started like putting stickers on it. I don't know if you can see that right there. Like even our daughter wrote, "Hi, have a good day." Like, to me, it's fun. Like you can see the other desk over here set up. That's where Peyton games and plays in the office, and it's fun for now. But yeah, I want the stickers. Send me a message on Instagram.
Yeah, man.
And
Same
I'll
here.
send you my mailing address. But no, man, Marcus, why didn't you say something, bro?
What's up, man?
Hey.
I was like, did you just pop in?
Yeah, I just barely popped in.
Okay. Cool.
What's up, fellas?
What's going on,
What
man?
are you doing tonight, man?
What's that?
What are you up to?
Right now I'm heading to the post office.
Late night run.
Yeah, I was packaging up some packages, man, and just trying to get them over there. I usually when I get out of work, that's like my routine, you know. I get home, package up what I sell, and then spend time with the family, and then eat and all that, and then do my late night run.
Yeah,
see,
man.
Like here, like I live in such a small town, that's not even an option. Like the mail carrier guy also is the headmaster for the Boy Scout club here. Like, you don't understand, like, and I grew up with him.
Heck yeah. Yeah,
So,
it's I don't know, I just like getting my shipments out pretty quick, you know.
oh yeah, like I think we discussed that earlier, how I shipped one out and then literally the very next day they're like, "Can you expedite this shipping?" And I'm like, "It can't be expedited any more than I just did it."
Right.
Yeah,
That
thing's gone.
Too late.
Yeah, I had 1 day, but then I was doing good with 1 day, but I changed it to 2 day, but I still get it out the same night, usually the same day they order it.
I do believe that actually looks better. Like I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, you need to do 1 day, you'll have better sales." But something about if you do a 2 day, I feel like if you can under promise and over deliver. I mean, have y'all ever been a part of that statement? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like it makes your client happier. Like, oh snap, he said it won't want to be shipped out today. Yeah. It kind of gives that sense of, oh, he cares, or that person is out for me to help me. Right. And and that's fun. I mean, I hate to play on people's emotions, but at the same time, if it makes you look good and grow your business, isn't that what we're doing? I mean, we're
all for it, man.
Yeah, I mean,
all
I'm all for it. Gray Wolf,
sure.
Good to see you in here, man.
Yeah, man, I like getting the feedback, and reading it, and a bunch of my feedback's like fast shipping, fast shipper, I like, that kind of helps, like, give you feedback too, I think.
Yeah, because if you set it 1 day, I mean, you don't really have that wiggle room to even make that mistake and just push it off a little bit. You got to really cut it, and then you're just meeting their expectation, right?
Yep.
So
I guess like what Clay just said was, well, eBay's a different animal. If you want the top rated to get the savings and stuff, yeah, you're going to be the 1 day, but aren't you also have to list free shipping too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought you had to do free returns or something at one point.
Yeah, you got to do free return. Like if you want to be the highest level to get the badge and all that, you got to do free returns, free shipping. I mean, no hassle, money back stuff. I do no returns. I have top rated seller status, but I do no returns. But I'm pretty thorough with the photos, and I put everything in the description, like, hey, you're buying what you're getting. This comes as is. I list all the defects if there's any. Just make a note of that. And I haven't had like any returns really, like hardly. I maybe had like 2, 3, maybe at the most. But I mean, it was like for shit, I don't even remember. I think if some of the stuff that I did return, I just let them keep it. Hey, just take it, man. Can y'all hear me all right?
Yeah, we can hear you, man. You sound good.
Okay, I got my headphones on, so I didn't know.
Oh yeah, you're coming through good, man. No,
all right, good deal.
Yeah, we again, I know he's in the other room watching somewhere, but Peyton's on his account for your boy Joker. And if y'all want to see someone who's actually really good playing Call of Duty, his channel. He's going to be uploading more soon, and I can't wait for him to do that. But he actually is learning the resale business with me. He's been going out with me to yard sales. He was in the last video that we did, and he's really trying to just take it in. I tell people, if you dive into this business without taking the time to learn, it's like trying to drink from a fire hose. You're not going to be able to get it all in. Like, it takes time to really understand who you want to be as a seller and where you should take your knowledge, and everyone's knowledge is different. So like,
right.
Yeah. And then like another thing is just maybe at least know like how to start, like the best thing I could tell anybody, maybe, like I really don't like to give advice, but like just from me personally, when I started, like the easiest way I learned was shipping small items, like anything under a pound that I could get a hold of, and just learn the shipping process.
Like we did the first process with him, and it was thinking smaller, and like I even gave him $20 and said, "Hey, here we're going to start you off in your resale, like kind of give that incentive, right?" And I have the stream for the living room on the big TV. He's got the stream going on our big TV in the living room. But no, like I think it's important to share and teach, and I y'all have to have that mindset in a way as a community. I still can't get over the negativity in the comments that I get directly through Instagram. Like, it is so funny. It's like, I'm a nobody to y'all. Like, I only have like 237 subscribers. Why are you messaging me telling me that I'm doing it wrong when obviously you don't know what it's like to be a reseller? Like, these people, like, I really want them to understand that the struggles, like, if people knew half the struggle I went through this year, most people would stop the curve that I had to learn Amazon by walking away from a legit selling. Like, I was doing well on eBay, but now I walked away completely, and I started over in Amazon. But I took the knowledge I had of flipping, and I just transitioned it to the RA side of it and understanding the profit margins that way. So like when Peyton, we got him to send out the CDs, and that reminds me, I forgot to ship those out today. Peyton, you're in trouble. I bet that looked good on the screen. But we did declutter. And again, I brought that up earlier, that video I did. And it's about understanding numbers and how money can work for you. How you're screaming. How am I in trouble? But like, if you could take 10 cents, right? Like, I know this is a minuscule thing, and this is more of the process for me, right? Like, if you know guaranteed that you spend 10 cents on an item and they're going to pay you 50 cents, that's still 5 times profit.
Right.
And if you're trying to build the knowledge and understanding of cost per capita per dollar and understand that your bank is doing nothing for you, you're better off investing it and building your capital that way.
You sound like an accountant, man. You got some accounting skills up in there we need to know about too? Is that another hustle that we need to hear about?
Right.
I actually failed accounting in college the first time. If I want to be truly honest, like I didn't grasp the way they handled money. And it might just be my mindset of how I think about money in different terms. Like for me, it's like we went out that day to go yard selling. I was like, oh, if I sell that item, it pays for the day.
Yeah.
It's like that way anything else I find that day is totally free for me to make my profit on.
Sure.
And some people say, oh, no, it's your cost per item and you've lost money. Isn't it money the same way? And
yeah, there was something I used to say, like, I forgot what it was exactly, but like people that were like, I'd pick up change sometimes off, oh, look, there's a penny or whatever. And they're like, oh, man, it's just a penny. And I was like, that, you don't think a penny's nothing? I was like, all right, give me a penny and then double it every day. Every day, give me a penny. Tomorrow, give me 2 pennies. Then you give me 4 and keep going and see how long you can do that for. I bet you can't afford it, like, and I mean, if you do this for so many days, man, you're already pushing into like the, 20,000s,
if you did that for a year, think about how much money you would have at the end of the year.
Yeah, because, I mean, if you double it every day, that's millions, by the end of the year.
Right, because think about it, $10, and then the next day it's 20, 40, 80. So that's kind of what this is. Y'all see, I got pennies galore, but I just started this a week ago? I don't know.
That's the reason we're having the coin shortage, man. That's the coin shortage right there.
Every penny I get.
You better hang on to them; they're rare. You can sell those eventually.
I'm not even the world's first. Other half, she has a jar, just a cheese ball one, just like that, and she's filling it up. It sits on my side of the nightstand. Literally, it's a reminder: don't touch.
You're gonna be able to sell. You're gonna be able to sell penny for some money on eBay because they're going out of.
That is, I watch a lot of guys with the coin because it interests me, right? Currency does interest me, and there's a lot of guys was it Rob Finds Treasure? I like watching him because he's very knowledgeable, dude. Again, he's probably not for everybody, but the information he gives you is priceless. How to look for certain things, and I think that's the fun part of it is learning something new. I don't know. The next thing will probably be, I don't know. I already know how to pop people's back pretty well. Do it safely, how to roll them back and hold them right.
Oh man, addicted to hustle, chiropractic.
I have a T-shirt that has a spine.
Oh man.
But no,
lots of verticals, man. Lots of different businesses popping out
here,
man.
Have you lifted too heavy of a package? Come see me.
that would be funny, right? When your package exceeds 50 pounds, go see me.
Hey guys, I'll be right back. I'm gonna stay on, but I'll be right back.
Cool. But no, I think for me, I don't know. Where do you see yourself with your resale? Say this time next year. What are you expecting out of it? What are you wanting?
Oh man, I don't know.
But
I don't know really. My wife and I, we both partner up and we do this together. She's really hoping to take this business and move it forward. I think a lot more than I am. Just because she wants to move it into a position where she can sort of slow down on her current job and pull and spend more time with the family. We've got 2 kids. She wants to spend time with them. She wants to be able to do and spend time in school and all this kind of thing. She just wants to be more involved with them. And so she wants to transition into this, make this a viable business that can help, bring in some income.
So she's the one looking to be the full-time into it. Gotcha.
Yeah. So she wants to move in and make it more full-time. And it would take more from me for me to make it a full-time business.
Right.
Just because, I've got insurance and, all the things that, that we end up paying for. But yeah, I think we have some general ideas about we want to have. So right now we have about 101 items in eBay. So it's a small store. We'd like to have 200, 300 items in our store. Diversifying the products that we have, because right now we only have mainly clothes, some of that glass I talked about earlier that we picked up. Just kind of spreading out what we have and getting some more knowledge about different things and maybe jumping into some other places too. I don't know.
Well, one of the things, I'm sure you probably already do these, but we do it as well. We do, as you can see on the machine down here, I got all kinds of video games. We got stacks of DVDs, games, whatever. But video games, man, for some reason, it's standing the test of time. And this year has just skyrocketed. And again, I know that's because people are at home. They're stuck at home. They're not spending money out doing everything else. They're going to be buying video games. They're going to be buying, there's one that you could probably make a killing on eBay because I haven't sold any on there. But I do know that Mercari is on fire. Puzzles. I have one puzzle. I'm not going to let it go for less than $120.
Oh,
it's a mosaic of The Simpsons. It was an episode from The Simpsons that they took all the other episodes to make that one episode scene. And it's brand new, goes for $200 on Amazon.
Wow.
Yeah.
I listed it on Mercari. I think it was $120 or something like that. And if someone offers me anything 80 or above, it's gone. I don't care what it's truly worth. It is gone because I paid. I don't know. Peyton might know how much we paid for that. It was $2, $5. I don't know. it was something really small, and I'm like, it could be gone. I don't really remember exactly, but that's my problem, and that's the one thing I do probably want to get better at is my inventory as far as my listing on like Excel spreadsheet. Oh, he said we pay $4 for it. That's crazy. But like there's things where like you could do. You probably come across some Barbies. Like that's a big one. Like people don't think about Barbies. So I have a cross listing close.
Scarves.
He's got scarves and flags from a sale. So tomorrow needs to be a great day and can, especially if it says no cavities. that's a beautiful thing. No cavities. I like that.
Man, even like Macari, like if you just think about like video games and stuff, but even just stuff like you could do at home. Like I've sold like a I forget what it's called, like a drum machine for when you're playing guitar or something. Like a beat, like for your foot, like it has a foot pedal, and I guess you could play certain beats or whatever, so you could play your guitar too or whatever. Like stuff like that sells in Macari pretty good. Like any kind of
foot pedals that they can adjust the sound.
Like if you think about stuff you could do at home, like play guitar or I don't know, any electronics that have to do with music stuff you do at home, like that stuff sells too. So you ever seen any of that stuff, man? I mean, I've had like real good luck with that kind of stuff when I pick it up. So I sold one thing I picked up for like $10 or $20, and it sold for I think like 250, and sold that next day.
Those are the most beautiful. Those are what gives me the rush when you find that item and there's a demand for it. There's no better rush for me.
Yeah, especially when you get it like a low price. You're like, oh heck yeah.
Almost feel like okay. So the other day, and I'm gonna share this because I thought it was hilarious. I forgot where we walked away from, and Peyton turns around and looks at me and says, "You're a thief." I think it was when I picked up the Nintendo Switch, and I was being realistic because when I made the offer, I didn't know they were going to bring out the power piece for it, the actual unit for the main part of the box. I said, "Well, I'll give you $40 for it." And as soon as he said yes, his wife is coming down the stairs in the video with the main power piece that it was missing. Like, I'm not going to change my offer. You're throwing it in now. Like, you already made the deal. You know what I mean? Like, and if you want to renegotiate, then tell me you want to renegotiate. You didn't. So I'm not going to sit there and say, well, I'm going to pay you more. Like, I think there's a business matter there. And I don't know. I have a problem when it comes to video games. I feel like if there was an AA for video games, that would be where we need to go.
Are we selling them or just playing them or buying them or what's your
addiction? To buy to resell. Like between that now, like I actually have found like my groove of where like I'm constantly shipping out every day. Like between books, DVDs, like I do a lot of the DVD stuff on Mercari. Like you start putting together lots. Yeah, like Peyton wants to know, were you talking about like the guitar effects pedals?
Yeah, like to switch around. What do you mean? What was that?
He wanted to know, like, when you go back to you're talking about the pedal that you were talking about for the guitar.
Yeah,
those guitar effect pedals.
I think it was more like I wish I remember the name of it, but I think it's more like to play like a drum machine. They're called drum machines.
Oh, like these electronic drum sort of things?
Yeah, and you just like push it with your foot and you could change like the drum, like the beats and different types of drums, I guess, while you're playing your guitar. That's what it looked like. I didn't even check. I mean, I just saw it. I think I read the description, said drum machine. I was all right, post it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
We have a good time with it, and like sometimes I do find myself, and this is where I will say you be careful. Like I find myself I don't get emotionally attached to anything anymore when it comes to the resale. Like I finally got out of that point of the cinema. I used to play that. Oh no, like I have not played that game in 20 years. I don't have a desire to play that game. I'm not buying it for me. I'm buying it to resell because I know someone else wants to play it. And like I do have a stack of games, and it's limited. I got 4 or 5 Xbox One games. That's it. Like I don't have much, and I literally play Call of Duty. That's the only game I play when I'm not working or listing or something.
Yeah, I see you get on, but you get on pretty early. I mean, I don't know what your time zone is. I forgot, but I mean, usually when I'm at work, I see you jump on.
Yeah, we
like you're on during the day for me, like way early. and I get on way late at night. Like if I'm on, I'm getting on like 10 up to like 1 in the morning.
Oh, wow. So here lately, I've been hanging out with Tommy Bernard, and we actually been playing through the night. Like,
oh yeah,
I don't know how I did this, but we played on his stream last night. I didn't have an urge to go to sleep. We played until 6 in the morning.
Yeah, wow. I played with him every once in a while, man. These last few nights we've been playing Warzone. I've been trying to play just like some team deathmatch to get my gun rankings up and stuff.
Well, they took away Shoot House, so like today, Shoot House is where I was leveling up the weapon. So that's the reason we're doing Twitch is because I'm recording the path to Obsidian for the camouflage. And like, it just gives you a different goal. Like, we have goals in reselling. That's my goal for the video game, and it's fun. I mean,
yeah,
I might be called crazy for wanting the ugly skin, but it's just funny to me.
Yeah, one night, man, I stayed up with Tommy, man, all through the morning. And I was like, man, I am never doing this again.
Tommy doesn't. He like sleeps part of the day, and then he has his schedule exact opposite from someone like me. So
yeah,
it's a sacrifice for me to take that time to play. But to me, it's all about building the relationships and the right relationships, And like Tommy is such a good influence. It's like he's been supportive with me, and it's like, you know what? I'm gonna spend that time with someone that's supportive. You know what I mean? And and he won't admit it, but I will tell you, to me, he's very competitive, even though we both are terrible at Warzone. Maybe he'll come in here. Hey, Sweet Texas Fines.
Hey.
All right.
Yeah, he's competitive, all right.
Yeah, so I'm competitive to die.
And I really suck right now. Like I used to be good at that, but I played all the time, and like, man, just trying to regain that is hard, especially on this newer game.
Yeah, like we played competitively back in Black Ops 2. Like,
all that stuff. I was good, man. Like, that's where the Reek is a beast came from, but now it's like Reek is a mouse or something. I don't know. I need to rename it.
All right, so Marcus, what we're going to have to do then, me and you need to schedule time. I don't know if you see in the chat, but Peyton said something. I've been working on something for a while that I really want to do, and it's a straight 10-hour stream, nonstop of Call of Duty. Like you get up, go to the bathroom, that's it. Get you a snack, come back. Like there's no stop. Henry and Peyton do all the work, right? Like them two are a killer at this game. I will tell you, if you get them two in the game with you, they'll be your backpack.
Yeah,
they'll carry you.
I'll get my little lucky burst here and there, where I'll get like over 20 kills. But man, it's hard. Like I'll get a little rhythm and then it just die out the next game.
I think it's funny though. It's like when it comes to sniping, I'd like sniping, but playing with them, they force me to learn quick scoping. Even though I'm not good at quick scoping, they have forced me to be a better player inadvertently playing with them consistently. And it's just like, I didn't know I wanted to do this, but now I don't want to do standard like sniping. I don't want to do like the hold the scope in, whole ADS. I really want to just see if I can whack you with it really quick, like quick scope as fast as I can, and just see if I can put it in your face. Like,
man, I'd be down for that. Like one day, like on a Friday maybe, or not Friday, but I don't know. It just depends when you start. But
well, I don't know. Like it matters.
I can get on for a good while, like on the weekends too, Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, I might actually consider figuring out a Saturday where we can start it at like, I don't know, 10 a.m. And
I mean, I go to garage sales in the morning Saturdays, but I'm usually done like by 10 or 11.
Exactly, and whatever time it is, and then we can. So, I'll start leaving Peyton to try to start figuring out logistics of when we want to do that.
Yeah,
all right,
that'd be cool though.
See what Clay says here, because I know that was just on Treasure Map app that a lady who does estate sales is running one starting tomorrow. So I guess I might have to go check it out. She has good prices, and it's the one people the people were hoarders. So Clay, right there is something that you pointed out without pointing it out, is you already built a kind of a relationship or knowledge of that person, and you already know that it might be worth your time to go. We don't have that ability here. Like, these people, like, they price it so high. Like, it's because they signed that contract to, if they don't sell it, they keep it. And I don't think that's right. Like, if you're really trying to help that family out, then you need to let them sell it at a fair, reasonable price. But these places are marking it up so bad.
My wife went to our first real estate sale probably a couple of months ago, and she went with her list of bolos, and she came back with this Patagonia jacket that was like, I don't know, $20 or something, and comps just aren't there to cover that cost. So it's it's the same thing, right?
Yeah, I think you got to know your market. Like, Patagonia it's a great brand, but it's overrated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, if you're going to buy it, why would you want to? Don't pardon me. I'm going to probably say that and make me sound terrible. But if I'm going to spend that kind of money, why am I going to buy it used?
Right.
If I'm wearing that kind of brand, why am I going to buy it used? Like, there's some things hold their value. You can't find them. I get there's that niche market. I don't know.
It has to be the rare stuff, probably, huh?
Right. Like when I watched Rally Roots, the one thing I learned is the old band shirts from the 90s, the old single stitch. If I ever come across those, yes, I will buy them. But you know how often that is? I haven't bought one this year.
Yeah, man. Watching Rally Roots, I thought I would go into a thrift store and just see vintage clothes left and right.
But they're in a great place for it. Like, that's their thing. So, like, again, knowing your market, that's the biggest part. And I think, for me,
that's a good point.
Yeah, I think when you're doing something, you find that stuff because, that's what you got your eyes out mostly,
Oh, right there.
You got your eyes out for it all the time, so you always see it. Like me, I could go in a thrift store and not spot any clothes. Like, I don't even bother.
Yeah. Sweet Texas Found says the ugly Patagonia stuff sells for good money, but not so much on the solid color stuff. So
that's where we messed up.
Because anytime I see Patagonia, it's like the solid, like the blue. Like, do you always see that Patagonia blue?
Yeah.
And
that's what we fixed up.
It just seems like anytime I find one, they want, $12, $15, or $20 for this thing, and it's like, oh, I can get it for 30. I can sell it for 30. There's not a margin. You're making 5% by the time you do fees, shipping. And it's like, it's not worth it.
Right.
So, yeah.
And that's after you spent your time taking pictures. I mean, all that time you've invested in it, you just kind of question.
I've definitely become more picky, and like I said, since I do know what I enjoy, it's like, oh, here we go. What Peyton said here. He said it's like when we went. Oh, come on. We went to that house. It's a house sale. We saw these nice things that we can make something on, but it was just so overpriced it wasn't worth it.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if you wanted it for yourself, I think that's where like a lot of these people go in to these estate sales. They're not resellers. They want to go. It's the experience. It's the, I could probably get a really good deal. To them, that's a good deal because they get a $300 item for $50. Well, it resells for $50, $60.
Right.
Well, to them, they know that it was a $300 item when it was new, so it's a good deal for them.
Right.
But we need that item at like $10, $12. You know what I mean? By the time we count the shipping and factor in the weight, the time, the effort to make it good and look good for those photos. So I don't know. Like, it's most of the stuff that I find now, it's not worth our time. But I take it as a learning experience. So like, no day like even if we went out yard selling and I found nothing, like what was it? Edison said, he said it wasn't that he spent 1,000 ways to make a light bulb. He found 1,000 ways not to make one.
Right.
Like, he only needed one to work, but at the same time, it's like he learned what not to do. So next time it's like, oh, I'll learn not to go to this kind of sale because of keywords. Like when they start listing stuff, if they don't list video games and stuff like that in their listings for like yard sales, they're not going to have it. You know, because yard sales and stuff is what when they know that if they have video games, people come. And people are learning that more and more. And it's getting slim pickings. Are you having that problem on the weekends? Out in toward Raleigh? I know Brian's out near Raleigh, so we're closer together, and I have trouble finding, like, the yard sales are there, but the quality of those yard sales have just dropped this year. Like last year, I could pull in video game after video game and not ever blink an eye, but this year I feel like I have to really work harder to get that same amount of inventory.
I really don't have that problem because there's not a lot of resellers where I mean there is some. I mean finally met like 2 of them, but there's not a lot of resellers around where I live, and like there's just so many people in such a small area where I live. Like I don't even make it to all the garage sales, and I could just imagine what I'm missing out on from compared to what I find.
Oh, absolutely.
But
that's what drives me sometimes. It's like, oh, what did I miss out on? Yeah. It's FOMO.
Yeah, that's why I always got to go. Like I remember somebody said something about, like if you have stuff already, don't even bother going. But to me, if I have so much like inventory, I got a list still. I still like to go, and then that's when I get picky. Go try to find the items I could buy cheap and that are gonna make me a real good profit, like stuff that I could buy and sell for over $100. That's the time I go out and nitpick, and I pass up like like I went to this last garage sale and I have stuff to list still, but there was an Xbox 360 there and it was for $30 and I was like, man, I'm not gonna get it. I got 2 Xbox 360s at the house, and I'm gonna list those, and I left that there, So, but $30, and then it sells for maybe 60. That ain't really like a big turnaround for me either.
Well, talking about systems, in one of the yard sale videos I did, where I did the Facebook Marketplace pickup, and it was like $25. I bought 3 Nintendo DSs. And it had a case full of 16 video games. And in one of the consoles, it had the Super Mario one on it. So, like, I kept the Super Mario for myself as my tester game. I sold 16 games in the blue DS locally on Facebook. What's funny is I listed it for $160 just for the unit, 16 games. I figured 16 games have got to be worth at minimum, So that alone would be worth the money. Well, the guy goes, look, I even said, look, if you come get it, I'll take $150 cash. Just you come and get it. I don't have to worry about it. Porch pickup. He goes, dude, I'll pay you more if you'll bring it to me. He was at work and he couldn't leave. I was like, okay, well, I'm already going to be out that way anyway. So let's just go ahead and make the normal $160 make it work. So now I got 2 Nintendo DSs and I still have a couple other games. And I already had lots of Nintendo DS stuff that from other buys that I could lot together. Man, $25 investment, and I'm going to get $50, $60 per unit with some games. Dude, I turned a $25 investment into about $300, and it's like that easy.
Yeah.
Really,
that's good doing that.
Yeah.
And it's good to list stuff on Facebook, man. I've listed like a Super Nintendo or like a regular Nintendo. I don't remember which one it was, but I think actually both of them I sold on Facebook, but I had them on eBay for $100, and I was dropping my price, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna list it on Marketplace. Then I sold that same system for $120 when I think I already had dropped it down to like $80 on eBay, and it still didn't sell, and it sold for $120 on Marketplace. The same day I listed it, so I was like, So I always cross lists there just to try it.
See, I tell you, he's learning. Look at this. He says, speaking about stuff not worth it, he said, I've realized when we go out for yard sales, we stop at a lot of them, but most of them are just not even worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think about your
That's
time.
bad.
You know, it's not even worth getting out of the car half the time. You look at one and go, I don't feel this one. Like, there was a time, and I'm glad we.
But you said you live in a small area, right?
Yeah, we live in a small area, but see, the problem is in ours, because we're about 30 minutes east of Raleigh, right? So in our county, I don't know if it's one of the counties where I'll tell you, it's kind of like, it's like a healthy mix of the wealthy versus the poor. And it's like the reselling community out here, because we have one of the biggest flea markets in our area. Like, I will tell you, like, there's 200-300 booths out there that can be set up outside, and it's full every weekend. And we endearingly call it Little Mexican. If you can't buy it cheap, it's because those people have already bought it up, or they've already rummaged through all those yard sales for you got there, and they're holding it to the next weekend. I guarantee you the stuff that's sold on Saturday morning at yard sales is guaranteed to be there. If it's in Raleigh and eastward, it's going to be there in Smithfield on Sunday. And it's like, I'm not going to pay markup just to go resell it online. It's like, I'll wait till next weekend and I'll battle you.
Yeah. I hate the yard sales I go to here where they advertise it as a yard sale, and then you walk in their garage and they have a bunch of shampoos and like is this a retail store? I mean, I thought this was a yard sale, and then they have it every weekend.
Doing, right? They're using
couponing
and getting it from like quarter.
Yeah, but those piss me off, man. I'm like, man, you just wasted my time. I could have been headed to the next one. Here I am with a bunch of shampoos.
Goodies. And I mentioned him earlier. Like, I go through that box he sent me, and I still haven't had a chance to go through it all. I pulled it out and looked. I pull out a piece here and there and like try to list it because I just haven't had time to do clothes. And I find it so boring to do clothes. I can't get my mind around it. It has to be like a really expensive piece for me to really want to deal with clothes. So what's your favorite thing, Marcus? What's the favorite thing for you to find to resell? Like, what is your, like, not necessarily bread and butter, but it's like if you had to pick like a niche, like, is there something that you would focus on?
My thing is toys, man. Like toys, collector figures. That's my main thing. And like I sold like these little small, you know, like the small Banpresto figures. Like, I mean, I've sold some of those for like $250 for like, you know, and I don't have anything into them anymore. Like, I got these in a collector buy, but like, man, them things sell for some pretty good money, and I get returning customers on those. So, and just toys in general, man. Like, I like selling like you know, the old vintage toys and He-Man and Ninja Turtle stuff, all that stuff too. Silverhawks.
Some of that old vintage stuff, man. That stuff still goes pretty well.
Yeah, like those old Silverhawks. I found one and I sold it. You know, I probably bought it for $1, or had $1 into it, and sold it for $90. You know, old. I don't know. You remember Silverhawks, but if you ever find those, man, those are like gold. You know, and just different stuff. A Ninja Turtle motorcycle. I think I had Michelangelo. Sold that for 120.
Wow.
Or something like that. You know.
I'll share with you. And if you remember the original, the 1980s version, as a kid, I had the tower, and it was the Ghostbusters, like the tower, like the fire tower they were in.
Oh yeah.
Well, they used to have the play set where it was like half the building and the other half was like the internals, like pretty much like a dollhouse, but it was like the play toy for the boys. Well, I have all of that put away in storage still at my parents'. Well, you know how much the Ecto 1, the original car, is selling for? It's like $180 just for the car.
Wow.
Because the red fins would pop off and the kids would lose them. If yours is complete, it goes for like $180.
Wow.
I mean, I've seen people take that price back and forth, but if you wait long enough, that price is right back up there because no one can find them with the red fins on it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's like, okay, think about all the pieces I had with that. Like, I know the tower alone's worth like 85.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you start finding old school pieces.
Even if you find stuff that let's say there's like 3 or 4 listings on it, but you find it's one sold for 150, and then these other 3 or 4 listings are selling them for like 50, $60. I go ahead and just put it away, and I let those other ones sell out. And then when you list yours, you're the only one there. Like, they got to buy for 150, or they got to buy for what it's sold for. But yeah, man, I like selling everything really, but collector figures is what I have fun with, or toys, stuff like that. Cameras is awesome to sell too.
Yeah.
If you could find cameras, man, those have always, like, every camera I've ever had, they sell out. They're gone.
So, what brand do you think sells the fastest?
I mean, you got the Canon AE1, and then you got what's the other one? Starts with an A. Asahi Pentax. Those are some real good. If you find 35 millimeter cams on those, or the Canon AE1s, I mean, that's a quick 120. Right. But then you got to find them for like 10 or 50, $10, which you can. But yeah, man, those sell quick.
Let's see. Clay says this lady has an old Tyco racetrack for sale. Are you talking the old electric car ones?
Yeah, with like the pull switch.
Yes.
You like pull the trigger in your hand or whatever.
I hope I get it early, and if it's cheap and full set. Dude, whether it's a full set or not, like the parts for that. What was it? Commonwealth Picker, when in doubt, part it out. Like that right there is one of the pieces I would tell you to really look into. Take pictures and send them to me. I want to see if it's the model I grew up with, because the one I grew up with, it was a yellow box. It was like a white box with like the yellow trim, and it had like this red lining around it. I can't find that box no more. I can't even find where it's available anywhere for sale. And I've looked for years. I've wanted that piece back.
Man, I'll tell you one thing, man. Alton, like that time you and Burgundy Sales did that little live selling the toys, man. I wanted to jump in on that so bad. Like, I still have them totes full of them toys waiting. I was like, I'm gonna, I think I told you, I was like, man, I like to, get in on this and pull out my toys and we'll go through them. That was pretty cool, man.
Yeah, that was a fun.
I still have those totes. Like, shit.
Well, maybe one night we'll sit down and we'll do that. Let you go through them and we'll compliment. Yeah. Like, to me, that part is fun because, like, I see something, like, I don't know why, but I innately search it a different way than some people do. And I'm like, I found it 10 times faster than when Ron was finding it. He goes, "Where do you get this? Here's the link." Like, like, it was funny, and I enjoy it. And like most of those pieces he had, again, lotting them up, you'll get $2 a piece for them. But there was several in there that were like $18 and $25 for one piece because it was a rare piece because it had like a different color hat. Or I didn't realize that they made that much differences back then, especially on the old, like the early 90s. Like 91 to 95 was the true variant of those brands, and they were trying to distinguish themselves because that's when I know Star Wars came back into the picture and they were doing repops and bringing out those 90s ventures. I didn't realize that that's when they were making all those errors. Like, and those weren't making money. That's what now is it's learning the game again. And
part of that trick is just knowing that these are like these little variances make it more valuable. And
it's like, if let's say they made 10,000 of that piece, but only 500 of them ended up with a red mark, then that becomes a more rare piece than the 9,500 that are the original. Right. Like, I don't care if it's the original or not, and it's pristine edition. The 500 used are going to bring the same price because you can't find it. So,
yeah, just for instance, like in that tote, I know I have some like Motu stuff from like the castle Grayskull, and like just those little chairs. I know I have a chair and some other pieces, but just pieces sell for like $15-20
That's
on
just
those, and I still haven't pulled those out to list them. But that's the stuff that I had in that that I was gonna pull out. I still haven't gone through it.
I don't
But
even remember that night. Like I had messaged him that day and it's like, hey, bro, do you just want to hop on a live? I've never done one. Just want to do it just for the kicks and giggles. We did my live, right? And then like a few days later, he's like, dude, I'm doing a live. Do you just want to? I'm going through the toys that I told you I was going to buy. I was like, well, I'll be there in a minute. Next thing I know, I spent like, even off air, we talked for like another 2 or 3 hours. And we were going through toys. Like, I was exhausted. It was like 5-6 hours that we were going through toys. And it was ridiculous. Like, I enjoy it, but it is mind consuming and time consuming, and it just puts me to sleep half the time.
yeah, I don't have that many, but I got a few that.
Yeah, well,
I'm pretty.
We'll schedule it live, and we're gonna be sorting through Sumo's toy collection. you know, I think that'd be fun. It'd be a cool way to do it. Like, again, when I do it live, I just want to do it for fun. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want it.
Yeah.
If you don't want to talk about resale, we don't have to talk about resale. But I mean,
yeah.
that's part of what we're doing. But at the same time, it's perspective, and can take processes. Again, I will preach that one all day. Process over the is more important than the product to me, because if you can nail your process down, no matter what you're doing, you're going to end up with a good product as long as you focus on it. So, I mean, I think that's where like finding good product, there's a process to it, knowing how to look for it, knowing what innately is worth value. Like,
so what's y'all's favorite thing? Like, you asked me, like, what's y'all's favorite thing to sell? Or
I think I'm still in
you and Brian.
I want to be favorite thing. I would have to say is video game memorabilia, like anything like that. That like video games can go first class. Like, I still am in that phase of if it'll go first class, that's my favorite thing to deal with because it means it's an easy ship, an easy pack. I enjoy that part of it. Like, I don't want to waste 10 minutes boxing a big item and making sure that it's not going to break. Like, that part scares me. So I'll tell you, I'm not ready for those big items. Like I could do it. Like, I don't know. I'd rather focus on video games, books, media. That is my go-to. That's what I enjoy. And plus, it looks good on the wall. Like, while I'm waiting, like, this thing will be filled up behind me soon. Like, more weeks, I'll have this thing full of games. You're gonna be like, oh my god, you have a problem.
Heck yeah, man.
So.
Yeah, our main thing is we started off doing clothes, and that's been sort of our main pull. And then we've been getting into glass recently. So that's kind of what we've been doing for the most part. But like just like you, like if we see something and it's worth money and it's gonna sell, then we'll sell it. Yeah,
that glass stuff, man, it was really interesting. That all that stuff I picked up on that one day, at that estate sale that I went over with Tim. I mean, man, I'm still trying to list some of that though. Like, some of it I lost the little notes off of it, so I got to go back and watch my own video to remember what it was. But
yeah, that's part of the problem with the glass is that there's so many, like the same thing with like the toys. There's so many minute details that will take it from being super valuable to being not so valuable, and there's just so many details that you just have to be aware and learn.
Yeah, and I don't want to list it for $40 when it's worth 100, 120, or 200 or whatever. But like, because he was telling me, like, man, that might go for 60, maybe even up to 100, So I'm like, man, do I really want to list this right now, or do I need to do some research on it a little bit more? So that's what's been stalling me on listing all that quick, like other items.
Yeah, at some point tomorrow, I'll message the group. Clay has a really good point. I mean, I need to get y'all into the group that we have. It's a little messenger group on Facebook. That I'll tell you, you'll learn more in that group than you'll ever imagine. Like, the things that we constantly are talking about, that's been a blessing for me to have like access to Scott, Dumpster Diver Dad. Like, I'll be honest with you, like my other half ago, who you talking to, Scott? like I'll message Scott in a heartbeat. Like, hey, what do y'all think of this in the group? Or Clay know, like, he has a question, he poses it in there. Are we brutal sometimes? Maybe, like because we care. You know, like we love you, Clay. Like you know what I mean? Like that's how we treat each other, right? So we might say something and we don't mean it in a bad way. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, this is how you should operate that thing. So like, I think when you have more than a few people looking at a scenario, like, hey, should I buy this item? Like we do a lot of like RA. I think my opinion would be, hey, I don't think I'd feel comfortable. But then Scott would be like, yeah, man, that's a good thing because this is the reason. And then I go, oh, well, if you're looking at it like that, oh, no, Clay, I'm not talking about stocks no more. No, we're talking about stocks. No. No. But no, it's not even that. Like, I think in general, like, I hope the honesty is what I mean by that is that we're not going to try to lead y'all astray. You know what I mean? And think the honesty, if you put forth that honesty, you're going to see that we can grow.
Yeah, and then with more people, like you have somebody that may know more, that's like, hey, pick that up, man, for sure. Like,
right.
Well, I mean, if it's like, I'll give you all the instance, and I think we talked about this earlier. For you hopped on, our boy's 11, right? So Sean turns 12 in November. And he follows this guy, whoever it is. I don't know what the name of it is on Instagram, but they list all these like rare or these limited edition things that are coming out to the market. And so far, they've been right about every one of them, but they're doing it months in advance. So like the last one was the 3 items from Cheetos that they made mac and cheese. And it had like the flaming hot, the bold and cheesy, and then the cheesy jalapeno. Well, I found the cheesy jalapeno, and it blew my mind. We bought them at 96 cents a box, y'all. And they're selling for $8.12 plus shipping per box because no one can find them. So if you can find them, that's where that's why I said we were looking at the small flip. Like, that's when Scott was like, hey, I'd rather sell a bunch of this item. That might be an avenue to help learn because the barrier to entry is so low. So what if you held on to them? Oh, well, I'm approaching the expiration date. Well, I got some food. Like, there's different ways of looking at it, and I think that's the fun part of the resale is that you can learn how to benefit yourself. And I enjoy it. Like, it felt good to tell Sean, hey, grab everyone off the shelf. He reached over to that thing like this and grabbed them all. That was a great moment, because it was just funny that he could clear a shelf, Resale King is in the house.
Hey.
What up?
Oh, my goodness. Guys, y'all realize I've been at this for 3 hours?
No, I was just looking at the clock here.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
No, man, I didn't realize. I just went on my post office run, so it hasn't been that long for me. I can't read the chat right now, but
oh yeah, no,
yeah, man, I see the little timer on there now. It says 3 hours.
I can't believe that. Now I think on the next live I'm gonna get her in here. Her and her other half, they have a thing. They did it for me from Gifted Hands Artistry. I don't know if y'all can see that right there, but they did this like hand painting. It's an oil painting of me. They took a photo and they joked that because all I see is money, the profits, right? But they slapped a $100 bill, like a stack of money across my face, and they put my logo all over the bag. So I'll probably pull that down on the next live and let everybody see that and get them in, give them a good shout out. Because it was fun to have, and it's a good piece to add to the wall. So, I mean, she's talented. She did a great job. Them two are awesome. And they're actually in Durham, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, really?
So they're a local. So,
cool.
like, that's one of the cool things where it's like a local artist finds like, oh, that's pretty neat. We're going to have to keep that going. All right, Clay, we'll see you later. Now, we're about to wrap this up because it's 3 hours. My God. No wonder my back hurts.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. It was good hopping on with you.
Absolutely, man. Get with me, and we'll go live one night, and we'll sit down kind of like that and assess the toy lot.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool, man. Do that. That'll give me some motivation to pull those things out and go through them too.
You just have them sitting in like storage or something?
Yeah. Yeah, okay. I have a little workshop where I have all my stuff in. I have all my shelves in there and totes and all that stuff. But yeah, so they're just in there in one of the totes.
Good deal. Yeah, well, just let me know anytime. We'll schedule it out. And if you
I'll be on tonight too on the game. So.
All right. Good gracious, it is midnight. Good God.
Oh yeah, it's midnight for you. You're an hour ahead.
Yeah. So
oh man.
I told Mother I'm going to bed at a decent time tonight, so I'm gonna have to try to stick to that one.
Yeah.
So,
but I usually get on around this time, between 10.
I'll shoot you the game tag handle and everything, and we'll get everybody together.
Yeah.
And we'll plan a time for the 10-hour stream. That's going to be fun. It's going to be like prep. I'm going to have to prep all week for this. Like, this is mentally, I made it 7 hours and some change one day, and I was in and out. Like, people were coming in and out, but I made it by myself. It was like 7 hours and some change, and I about passed out in front of the camera. I was just like a zombie. Like, I couldn't do it. So, but yeah. All right, let me go ahead and end this out. And all right, thanks everybody for watching, and we'll have fun till the next one.